And there it is. So here it is. Our host is a bit delayed at the moment, Dupsy. So I'm going to start it off, and then later she will rejoin us to take charge of the session. So apologies for those of you waiting in anticipation of Dupsy. She will join us, but she's a bit indisposed at the moment. But before this session kicks off, I have exciting news for you. You can see it on your screen. We have the incoming PDP chairman, Segun Showunmi, joining us on Wednesday. So the incoming PDP chairman, Segun Showunmi, he will be joining us on Wednesday. So I'm going to send the link to it now. So go bookmark it, because of course, I don't have to tell you just how exciting a prospect it is. So the incoming PDP chairman, Segun Showunmi, he will be joining us on Wednesday. So bookmark it and spread the word around your social media handles so that any and everybody can come put questions to him. So Segun Showunmi, he joins us on Wednesday. So Segun Showunmi joins us on Wednesday, but I join you now. So I join you now really to set the stage for Dupsy to come and take charge. So just really the things we're looking at. U.S. court finds Nigerian blogger $50,000 for defaming MFM overseer. So it's a narrative now of this this so-called daddy GOs pushing back against people calling them out for their fraudulent practices. U.S. court finds Nigerian blogger $50,000 for defaming MFM overseer. A Baltimore County Court in the United States of America, presided over by Teresa Adams, has slammed a record 50,000 damages on a US-based Nigerian blogger, Funke Ashekun, for defaming the General Overseer, Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministry, Dr. Daniel Olukoya. A statement on Thursday by Olukoya's media aide, Colin Something, said the jury found that the posting of Ashekun defamed the MFN and portrayed its pastors in a false light. Delivering its judgment in the matter with case number XYZ, the court returned a unanimous verdict in favor of MFN USA and its three pastors, and then it goes on to give the names. According to the MFN, Ashekun, who recently relocated to the United States, has been on social media spreading all manners of falsehood against the MFM church and its general overseer, with the sole purpose of tarnishing and damaging the reputation of the respected man of God and that of his ministry. Reacting to the lawsuit filed against her, the YouTuber, in a video she posted on her YouTube channel on November the 28th, 2023, said MFN and three of its US-based pastors filed a suit against her and accused her of defaming the general overseer. I am now able to confirm to you and to formally do so now that I, Funke Ashekun, have been sued by a church in America. I want you to know that I have been sued by a church in America. I am also able to confirm that the name of the church that has taken me to court in America is Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries America. I am also able to confirm to you that I don't know them, the plaintiffs in the lawsuit. Imagine people that I don't know are suing me. What an irony. The first one is Adekunle Adekola. He is a pastor in the Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries in Maryland. The second is Kunle Ladipo. He is also a pastor in the Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries, Maryland. And the third person, a woman, I am surprised, she is Grace Uge. She is also a pastor of the Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministry in California, one of their branches. uh, somebody even came to California to sue me in Maryland. These are people I don't know. I have never been in their church here in America since we relocated. I saw two of them in court recently, but I don't think I will recognize them if I met two of them on the street. I am surprised how a woman will come after me for speaking against sexual assault on women. Adeshekun, or Ashekun rather, added that she was shocked about the lawsuit, stressing that she did not mention the name of any church or pastor in particular in her post. I am talking about pharaohs or pharaohs of our country, people that are supposed to be men of God, that people call men of God and reverence. I am talking about things going on in our churches that there are sexual abuses going on in our churches. Women are becoming depressed. Some of them are becoming suicidal. They are being sexually molested seriously. And then a woman would come after me and take me to court for talking. So that's essentially what's going on there. So that's Mountain of Fire. So no surprises there actually. This is just a standard template of the general goings on within the Nigerian space, or within the Nigerian Pentecostal space, I should say. So we're inviting thoughts on that. So if you have any thoughts on that, the link in the comment section, come join us, and then we'll be going to this one as well. This one speaks to a particular narrative, and this one really speaks to the headline piece. So listen to this lady, and then share your thoughts.
Was rich, like very, very rich, he would have been able to manage both May and you and Judy quietly. Nobody need to disturb anybody. Did you see Ned?
Yeah, that's the one you like. No stress, like soft life. Gay.
That is what we call polygamy. Peace of mind. That's why I say it's for the rich. It's strictly for the rich. I'm not saying Yul is not
Because it's a
rich.
lifestyle everybody cannot afford.
He's rich, but who was rich, like very, very rich, he would have been able to manage both May and you and Judy quietly. Nobody need to disturb anybody. Did you see Ned?
Yeah, that's the one you like. No stress, like.
All right. So this lady then inadvertently putting the question forward that is polygamy really a pursuit for the rich? So this is the question that she is inadvertently putting forward, and she's citing the examples of Yul Adache and Ned Nwoko. So Yul Adache, of course, he's struggling to balance two households because he now seems to somewhat have two wives. So we all see how that is playing out uglily within the social media space. We just back and forth posting. In fact, it's a menage a trois, isn't it? It's a three-way posting. The side chick, now new wife, launches at the first wife, who then launches at the new wife and the husband. It's just a real mess, the Yul Adache space. And then this woman now is contrasting that, and this is all within Igbo land, by the way, the space that does not have a traditional history of polygamy. Uh, so this lady is now contrasting that with Ned Nwoko, the husband of Regina Daniels. So Regina Daniels, of course, is Ned Nwoko's, I think, fourth wife. Is married to, I think, another Moroccan or somebody from North Africa, and then I think two other women, and is able to balance then that quite comfortably. And this lady is adducing then that it is the level of wealth that Ned Nwoko commands that enables him to be able to balance those four homesteads comfortably, because of course he comfortably packages one in a life that is beyond our dream, and he comfortably packages the rest of them in lives that are beyond their dreams. So if they are living in comfort and all of their needs are being insulated for, and he manages their attention needs so that he's able to spread himself around, then he is able then to manage that polygamy. And all of that wraps around the fact that he's a very wealthy man. So this lady then inviting then, is polygamy is it really strictly the pursuit of the rich? So is polygamy really the pursuit of the rich? So now we go on from there to this. So this next one now is the narrative of the pastor who told us then that Peter Obi is going to be the next president of Nigeria and Tinubu is going to be arrested on the day of inauguration. He told us these two things, but neither of them panned out. But it looks as though life has taken a different direction for him. Court sentence. Let me make sure. Oh yes. So you can say. Oh no. Let me bring it back up. You need to say it so you know what I'm talking about. So there it is. Court sentence cleric Feyi Daniels to life imprisonment for raping in church member. The Lagos State Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court in Ikeja has sentenced a clergy, Bishop Oluwafemi Rokpo Daniels, to life imprisonment for the offense of raping a pastor in his church, Irene Christian Ministry, in June 2020. Delivering the judgment in the case today, January the 26th, the presiding judge, Justice Raham Oshodi, said he believed the testimony of the complainant as well as other witnesses who gave direct evidence which were not contradicted at any moment during the trial, despite the denial of the defendant. The court also held that the prosecution had successfully proven all the ingredients of rape under Section 260, subsection 2 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos 2015. Justice Oshodi, however, discharged the clergy of the second count of alleged raping another church member at his home in 2020. The court said the prosecution failed to prove the elements of the use of force, fear of harm by the complainant, and misrepresentation by the defendant to establish guilt in the offense of rape beyond reasonable doubt. The court ordered that the convict's name be registered in the Lagos State Sex Offenders Register. So I didn't even know Lagos State had that. The court also ordered that the cleric serve his jail term at the Nigerian Correctional Center at the Kirikiri Maximum Facility, where he is currently being detained. In the words of the judge, the cleric used his dominant character and position to sexually violate two members of the church. RAPE carries a mandatory life imprisonment, and sexual assault carries a jail term of 3 years, which can't alleviate the harm on your victims. So there it is right there. And here now is a clip of our justice catching up with this so-called man of God. All right, so that is justice catching up with that man of God. Let's have another flavor of him in an interview session here with Chidi.
Because see the case he had with police. and a member of his church and allegations of sexual abuse. How do you address those issues?
Okay, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
If you notice, there's no public statement on that.
Yeah, from you, yes.
From me,
yes.
no public statement from me on that. And the reason is that I was trained to handle controversies with silence.
Right.
That's how I was trained. And this didn't start now, started way back. You know, there was a time I was invited to preach for someone. I haven't been hosted. I got to my room, and to get into my room, I met somebody in my room. So I thought I got into the wrong room. I tried to leave the room. I looked at my right. I thought, these are my things. So what are you doing here, a lady? And by the time I looked back, I saw a camera behind me. I'm athletic. So I turned immediately and went after the guy that was holding camera. The guy fell down, punched him. Did I punch him? It's not good to punch people as a pastor. And broke the camera.
You gave me a holy punch.
Holy punch. And all that. That was when that started.
Right.
And so the person that was used for that later got into the public and I think went into the media and all that. So the case went to the police station, but to date is without merit.
Right.
And I just moved on with my life and just continued doing what God has told me to do. Because if the case was with merit, most likely I should be in.
Right. Yes, ideally, yes. But people say that in this society, in Nigerian society, that powerful people don't get powerful people. You're a powerful person, you own a church, people respect you, people love you.
Okay.
And you're also wealthy, you're not poor, you're powerful. So, of course, and there's corruption in the system.
Okay.
So you might have manipulated the system to ensure that the outcome was favorable to you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if that's what people would say.
Okay. All right. That's what people may think, but that's not what happened. And that's not what I did.
Right. Right. So there is no merit to these accusations in any form.
No merit in any form.
And you answered it with silence because you knew where these allegations were coming from.
100%.
Right.
All right. So our host is here, Dupsy. So she'll take over in a moment. So I'll just flash up the last piece. Hand over to Dupsy. Thomas is here as well, and then the session carries on. So now I'm not going to line this up. I'll just have you listen to this lady, and then form your conclusion. So have you listen to this lady, and then form your conclusion. So here she is. Let me just unmute, and then you can hear her.
Where 2,500 people were shown pictures, photos of people between the ages of 18 and 80. And they were asked to guess their age. When they did that, there was this group of people that everyone guessed to be 10 years younger than their actual age. And they're like, what is the correlation? And they're scratching their head and they're trying to figure it out. And it turns out that the correlation was these were the people having intimacy 3 times a week or more. You look 10 years younger than your cohorts if you're having regular intimate connection. That alone is enough for me to want to have a lot of because I want to look 10 years younger. But the interesting thing about it is that it also reboots your nervous system. It also sends out an endocrine cascade of neurotransmitters and feel-good hormones. It generates tons of oxytocin. All of these things point to having great will make you live longer. There was a study done in...
So there you heard this right there. Having regular sex makes you live longer, so go forth and multiply. Dupsy, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, one man. Thank you so much. I thought we are going to start at 10 a.m. That's why I just decided to rest. Can you hear me, one man? I'm so sorry for coming late. Yeah. Thank you, everybody,
yeah, we
for
cannot
coming.
Hear you. Carry on.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming to our Sunday sermon. So, one man, where do you want us to start from? Do you want to start from the polygamy discussion?
I mean, the floor is yours. Do you want to start with the polygamy and then build it up to Pastor Daniel, who and then I'm in the background. Thomas is here as well. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Thomas. Thanks for coming. So is polygamy ideally only meant for the rich? So in my own opinion, it's not only for the rich, it's good for the rich, but it's good for mature minds as well. So I wouldn't say because you're rich and you're not matured in your mind, you should go for polygamy. I'm not for that. You can be rich and be immature. So it's good for matured minds as well. A man has to know you know, how to go about the dynamics in his home if he has like two wives, three wives. But in my opinion, I don't even think generally men are matured for polygamy. In my opinion, don't rush here and start attacking me. That is my opinion regarding that. I think if you're rich and you're looking for varieties in women, probably you should have girlfriends instead of having multiple women in your household. So I think it's better that way to keep girls outside so that at least your house won't be in chaos. That is my opinion regarding that. I think one man, do you have anything to say to what I just said regarding maturity and being rich? Yeah, I agree to you for you to be wealthy, not even rich, to have multiple women, to be able to keep them without the house going on fire, and you have to be matured as well. So, one man, what do you think regarding that? Let me hear your opinion.
Yeah, yes, Dupsy, I am on board. Actually, let's hear what Chairman has to say first.
Okay, she should go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thanks for joining.
But can you let me can I come in like 5 minutes later? I
That's
just
fine. That's
All
I
right,
okay.
let
just
me
want to
come
listen.
ahead of you then. I think polygamy
Thank
necessarily
you.
has to be the pursuit of the rich. So I have no real objection to anybody having multiple partners. There actually are cultures out there that women also have multiple men. There are matriarchal structures within the African space that actually I was even watching a clip where the women are the king somewhere in the northern part of Nigeria. So there are matriarchal spaces where women actually take multiple men. So they have multiple husbands. So I have no objection to that, but it has to be all wrapped around affordability. And the example that this lady used to highlight that point, which is the Ned Nwoko example. Ned Nwoko, of course, the husband of Regina Daniels. So he has a plethora of wives, countless wives, but this guy is, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars rich. So if you are hundreds of millions of dollars rich, then you can comfortably insulate however many women you are married to. But if you are sort of bring two spoons, let us drink this gari together, then you shouldn't really be marrying. In fact, you shouldn't even be marrying at all. Never mind having multiple wives. So yes, I am on board with the notion that you have to have sufficient enough of funding to afford to have multiple wives.
I agree totally. I agree totally, but you have to be mature too, one man. It's not some men are very rich, wealthy, and they are not matured in their minds. So you have to be matured in your mind. And I agree totally to what you said that if it's just bring your spoon, let's eat this Gary, you don't even have any business being married. Go and take care of yourself first. So I totally agree on that. How about Thomas? Thomas, do you have an opinion on this? Let's hear you.
Hello, Dupsy. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, my brother?
Good, good morning. Yeah, this
Good morning.
is, yeah. But to me, you're 100% right. You don't even have business getting married if you can't even take care of yourself. Not talk less of taking two wives. But I discovered that I think even the poor of the poor, those are the ones that have 2 wives, 3 wives. Even the rich of the rich, they don't really go for multiple wives. Don't you think that? Because I,
Yeah.
yes, the poor of the poor, they are the one that always liked polygamy, even though they can't even feed themselves, but they would like to have multiple wives. Even the rich of the rich, they still have their one wife, but maybe they can have side chick, but they don't really go for 2 wives or 3 or 4. It depends on your religion and where God created you to be, maybe a Yoruba or a Hausa or thereabout. But I think the poor of the poor, that's those ones that they want 2 wives, they want 3 wives, even though they can't take care of themselves, as you rightly said. Yeah, it's 100% right. But for me, one woman is a one problem, 2 woman, 2 problem, 3 woman, 3 problems. So
What do you mean? What do you mean, Thomas? One woman, one problem. What do you, is our surname problem? Woman problem. What do you mean?
Is it not? Dipsy, okay, now, have you ever
and,
handled a woman to
and,
know?
and he said that as if, yeah, that is acceptable everywhere.
l-
One woman, one
l-
problem. What's all
no,
that?
let me rephrase it. One
Okay.
woman, one trouble.
Ah,
Two
ah,
woman,
ah.
two trouble. Ah, that is it now. So why do you
That
want to
really
have
better,
multiple?
Thomas.
Why do you want to have multiple trouble? So I'm just joking, but yeah, I don't think. Uh, but Dupsy, don't you think as an African man,
Yeah.
we are just deceiving ourselves? We have that tendency of going for second shots.
No, it's not African actually. It's human. Human nature. Even flowers, animals, they are polygamous in nature. Living things generally. Because they just love to taste some other stuffs. That regimented kind of life is not easy for anybody. It's all about discipline. Even for women, men usually think it's about them. No, even for women, it's not easy. It's just the way the society has dumped women down that you have to be like this. It is like that for
Dupsy,
everyone. Yeah,
Dupsy, do you think
yeah,
education is a factor in this as well? Because
yeah,
even in cultures that facilitate for multiple wives and
yeah,
religions that facilitate for
yeah,
multiple wives,
yeah.
you find that the upper echelons of that society that are educated to a certain degree, medium
Mm-hmm,
to highly educated members of that society, they
mm,
just satisfy themselves with one
mm,
wife, and
mm,
and on average, like somebody like El Rufai, for instance, I think he only has about 3 children. Somebody
mm,
like Kashim Shettima only. So a lot of these people, they satisfy themselves
mm,
with just the standard manageable life. So do you
mm.
think education is a factor in these things?
Yeah, it is. But just understand that it's going to be chaotic when you have multiple women living in your household. I think because they have the knowledge of what could happen. That is why a lot of people keep girlfriends. It doesn't necessarily mean Erufai or others people are faithful to that one woman they are with. They have multiple girls outside. So they understand that it's easier that way instead of you bringing different women having steps when children are in the house and they have different mothers in the house. I think the dynamics of the household is not going to be easy to manage. So a lot of people through education, they understand that it's not a good thing to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have multiple women as girlfriends outside their homes. Do you understand, woman? I have my nephew here. I want him to say something on this topic. Tammy, can you just
Yes.
unmute and yeah, contribute? That is one man. That's my nephew. He's with me. He's from London. So I want to try and imitate his accent before he start talking. So tell me, can you go ahead and contribute? Yeah.
Hello. Hi. So nice to hear from everyone. This is a great panel. This topic is interesting because I've actually had this conversation with my friends. A lot of them who are Nigerian, they have family who grew up in a polygamous home, and usually there's a pattern that happens, especially when the father passes away. For example, my own dad came from a father who had multiple wives. When he passed away abruptly, the wealth that came from that wasn't spread evenly. The first wife gained more on an advantage. Her family took away, most of the wealth. It affected the children even more, and those children will grow up with maybe a complex on what a relationship should look like, versus people who come from a monogamous family. There's a perception of a relationship, a marriage, that seems healthier in that home than one where it's very open to be polygamous. I think people need to um, understand the impact that will cause, rather than just that immediate, oh, this man can have multiple wives, people know about it. We need to see the generational impact it causes, because young people, we're talking about it a lot, and we don't see any advantage in what we witnessed in our families. So that's my intro into this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tammy.
The,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
sorry,
Go,
Dupsy.
go ahead.
Tell me, do you think it's Annie? Can you be quiet for a moment? Sorry, my son has an opinion. So carry on.
Okay, is it me or your son, woman?
No,
I thought your
you carry on. Give
I
me a
thought he,
moment.
okay, I thought he wanted to contribute. Thank you so much, Tammy, for that. That was a brilliant contribution.
Thank you for having me.
Tammy, what we are saying now is that the children that will be raised in this household from different mothers, do you think there will be some kind of resentment towards each other down the lane in the future? Or do you think it's possible for them to grow and love each other till, forever? I'm not sure. What do you
Right.
think about that? Yeah.
From what I've heard, most of the experiences I've heard from friends who have mothers or fathers that grew up in those homes, it was usually they had separate homes. So they would have half siblings that they've never spoken to. So that's something that's very strange to me, that you have siblings that you don't know about because that's from another mother. But then those who lived together, I'm not sure the dynamic, more than maybe an event occurs, someone passes away, it shifts everything. And then men who say that they have the financial ability to take care of multiple wives, how long does that actually last? Are we being realistic? Are we looking back for what worked 150 years and trying to apply it today? The cost of living isn't that easy. Where are we getting this idea that it's still possible to live like that? And then going back to the children, they know that in this sort of climate we live in, the society we live in, it's not normal to have a dad with multiple wives. It's not normal to have multiple people you should call mom, right? Even when it's promoted in the West by very isolated communities in America, it's seen as strange. And then those children are traumatized by something that happens because maybe a half sibling does something to another child. There's so many people involved in a home, right? And it's illegal. But then how it is in Africa, they will look down on third world countries that practice this. See, this is what they do. We've moved on. We've evolved as a society. In the West, polygamy is a disadvantage. Yeah, go on.
Tell me, let me ask you this. Do you think it's a generational thing, or do you think it's a cultural thing? Because generationally, right across all of the cultures known, people are marrying increasingly less partners for reasons of economics and reasons of emancipation and reasons of science as well. Because some of the reasons why people used to gather all these women is because they need to be able to spread the gene as widely as possible for reasons of mortality. But that somewhat has been resolved by science. But do you think as the generations continue to advance, people will continue to marry lesser wives right across all the cultures? Because you've just described your backdrop now, which is essentially a lot of our backdrops, where our grandfathers might married a multitude of women. Our fathers probably married 2 or 3, but we are now settled into one, and still the renegades among us are still marrying 2. But as the generations continue to advance, things will continue to narrow down. So, do you think this is a generational thing as well as a cultural thing?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say because of how you mentioned how the advantages we have now. The purpose before was to ensure there were more children because of child mortality rate. So people assume that, okay, if men can have multiple wives, then there'll be more children that could survive. But we don't have those problems most of the time. Maybe in more impoverished parts of Nigeria, northern Nigeria, but we have limited the reason for having polygamous marriages. And in fact, when it was a necessity and it's no longer a necessity, it has to reduce. And then you mentioned culturally, right? I would say when it comes to religion, I know that a lot of Islamic communities promote having 4 wives maximum, and we see that happening now. But what we also see is that there are women, not even adult women, young people who are being married off to a man, and maybe due to poverty, the parents can't take care of their daughter anymore. They send her off to be someone's second or third wife. That's to us a sign of poverty. So in a way, if we want to encourage that polygamous system again, there must be a problem in Nigeria, or there must be a problem in the community you live in, that a woman has to share her spouse. It's always seen, even when people try and use the Bible to claim that it was okay. If we look at the context in which multiple wives were being married to one man, it was always scarcity or lack of offspring. So there was always a purpose. So why people want to romanticize it today, I don't know. But it brings a lot of trauma, not just to the wives, but to the children of that man that promotes polygamy. They want to ignore that the children are affected by it. It's not, and then the grandchildren, we're the ones listening to what happened, But that's my input. Thank you.
Hello?
Okay.
Doopsy,
Okay.
do,
Yeah.
do you want us to, don't you think religious to tame us to marry one wife? Because I
Uh,
remember my grandfather
okay.
married 3. Yeah, 3. Yes, my dad, he has only one. This, which is my mom, and I think religion to bring us to the crescendo of having one wife. Do you think if we don't have this religion or this Christianity of a thing, maybe people may be having 2 or 3 more wives? Don't you think that?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that you should make sure you say the kind of religion you are talking about, because you remember that
Christianity? Yeah.
okay, yeah, Islamic religion. Yeah, I agree totally that the Christianity helped a lot of people to stick to one wife, even if there are a lot of tense in it. So, but I agree to that, Thomas, that at least Christianity has actually helped loads of people to stick to one wife. Yeah. Chairman, you can go ahead. Yeah. Let me
Okay.
listen to your submission.
Yeah, I wanted to speak on what can you hear me?
Very well. Yeah.
Okay. So Temi was saying, why is there people are romanticizing polygamy like this time? I think it's because,
Can you go and hang on this shirt?
from high society,
Told you it, were you not?
Can you hear me?
Go on, go on. That is Ajale Gogo scolding one of his kids. Yeah, go on.
um some high society men, they get into the polygamy, and also, successful women as well, and they marry these successful women, and these women, they marry these high society men because of their influence in, in their country. Like in Dubai, you see women will be dying to marry the king, or very rich and powerful man. And some of these women, they're successful, they're educated, so it's not really about poverty, it's the influence. You understand? But I think that, at the end of the day, it's, people do what they want to do. It's their own decision. And a lot of women don't want to be like remain single, so they'll just like want to marry. But I feel like nowadays it's good for a woman to have her own income, just like, in monogamy, they have issues. There's highs and lows. There's also highs and lows in polygamy, so it's always good for a woman to have her own income if she's going
So
to.
are you from polygamy? I don't really get it.
No,
So do you?
I'm
Yeah.
not encouraging it. I'm just seeing
Okay.
it in a neutral um spectrum,
Okay.
because I know people that are in polygamy. Like I know some people, but I do believe that some of these women these days, they're marrying powerful men, and they're successful. And these men, they have like two, three, like Regina Daniels. She can do well for herself. She doesn't need to marry Ned. You understand? But of course, Ned is super rich, so she's comfortable with that, her decision, as well as other powerful men we know in our country. Their wives are highly intelligent, successful women. In fact, their wives are contributing to to his finances. So it's not always the man is the rich one. No, it's the influence. They like that. you
Can
know
I chip in real quick? I don't want to talk too
of,
much.
of
I
course.
just want to right. I want to address that. I would say I mentioned the more common polygamous practice in the third world, but of course you've just mentioned what I would say is the extreme minority, though. 2% of people who practice this. I won't even call it polygamy. I would just call it even illegitimate polygamy. You have one wife and then several mistresses. You know the millionaires and billionaires who practice that a lot. They have a woman in a different country and they take care of her. They have the capital to do that, right? We can't use that as I
Yeah.
would say, a representation. I won't claim that okay, this is how it should be if we practice polygamy, because that's for the very small minority of men who can even afford to do that. But even when we're even basing on finances, that's not what marriage is all about. At the same time, if children are involved, you have to consider this too. There's this man in America named Nick Cannon. He's playing this game where I don't know how many women he's impregnated openly, but
I think
12 to 15 women. Oh, 8 women? Okay. Obviously, there's going to be more. But at least each of them have one child. One of them is Mariah Carey, very successful singer. That's who he was married to, then divorced, and now he's gone on a rampage around society, really practicing what a lot of people in the poor community practice. One man, 20 baby mamas. That's a reputation among the black community in the West. That's another form of polygamy. But these men aren't even
Give that man
providing
a
for their
medal.
children.
Is that not what we all aspire to?
I don't, because it's
it's
disgusting. Because think of what happened recently. They were meant to take Christmas pictures. Apparently, this man is going on shifts to take a picture with each family that he's created. Is he really there as a father? Are those children growing up thinking of their father like they know that their father is famous because he's a very small minority? But are we going to say, oh, let's imitate Nick Cannon? Are you a Nick Cannon? And then is he even practicing his fatherly role to everyone? I don't think so. Can he remember everyone's birthday? Can
And
we?
tell
Yeah,
me
yeah, go on.
what I think about men like that, because a lot of people think it's normal, just the way woman said it desires something like that. Do you understand? I think most of these men that go about with multiple women should actually have a brain scan. Most of them are not okay in their minds because I don't even know what a man is looking for. A rich, wealthy, or whatever. What are you looking for that you can stick to a woman? There is something wrong with your brain, your mind. You don't have a sound mind, as long as I can see that. So when people say they desire that, do they actually desire that? I don't think so. I don't think it's the best way to live. What do you think, Tammy? I will come to you, man of prestige. Just give me a moment. Let me
Yeah,
hear.
I would
Yeah.
summarize. I would say these men are again very few that feel they can practice this, but in the long run, it's not going to be a good look. We are going to observe these men because they are open about their polygamous behavior. Because you have wealthy men who have mistresses and who have children, but they tend to have one main wife that everyone knows, and then he has maybe a few secret relationships. That's just life. That's what we're surrounded with, in society. But then men who are openly promoting it, they're telling a lie because over time, what you would see, I've seen this a few times in documentaries where they will show men with 3, 4 wives, and then they will have different seasons, and then all the way to the fourth, fifth season, half of the wives are gone because there's catastrophe. It's not a healthy dynamic. It existed in the past because there was a
But
purpose.
sorry, Timmy.
Yeah.
There's a cultural element to it, though, because the sort of African, I don't like the word third world, but the African sort of society, the Arabian society as well, their society are largely based on that sort of polygamic outlook to life. So it's a system that they have perfected over the centuries. But the Western space, for whatever reason, they're more of a monogamous sort of a relationship. So if they try to vary out of that, if they try to deviate out of that, they will find that a struggle because they don't have the cultural backdrop to be able to handle that sort of an arrangement.
And one man, the scriptures support it, that it says, in Genesis, it says, be fruitful and multiply. So some of our people, they take that seriously.
I would. I want to respond to what Mr. Thomas. Is it Thomas?
It's
One
one man.
man.
It's one man. One
Oh,
One
man.
man.
right.
That's my
Mm.
boss. That's my boss,
Okay.
Timmy. His name
Okay.
is One Man.
One man. Yes. So and then I'll respond to Choma's response as well. I would say number one, the cultural the aspect that has thrived, I guess, in Africa and the Middle East. When we really analyze what's going on today, what's been practiced for centuries, but then what's going on now. If you look at the regions of Nigeria or Africa where polygamy is practiced, where early marriage is practiced, where young age of 14 to 13 are being married off to these grown men. Look at the poverty statistics in these areas. It could be the purpose and the cause. So the purpose of getting into polygamous marriages is because of poverty, but then it could also cause poverty because those men who then pass away maybe too early, their wealth is spread across how many children? 20, 15. Can we again avoid glamorizing what we think is working? It's not. I personally don't think it's working. And then when you look at the data, it correlates to even more poverty, more poverty. And then Choma mentioned the Bible. The Bible says, "Be fruitful and multiply," but symbolically, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam, Eve, Stacy, Sarah. It was Eve one. And then again, when we look at the polygamous relationships in the Bible, each example shows chaos. When Jacob had 2 wives and then two extra women, chaos. People were complaining. Brothers were turning against brothers. When we see polygamy practiced by kings, it caused chaos. Solomon couldn't have enough kings. He had 1,000 women. There's never enough for a man. So why should we even entertain extra women when it's never ending? These men never stop getting more women. You would think it would satisfy them that you have 4 wives, but they will still have another 4 concubines. The reason why there's a limit to how we are religiously, culturally, is because it makes sense. If you have one wife, she can have your children. There will be peace in the house. And that's all I'm going to say for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you, Femi. I'm
yeah.
so proud of you, darling. Man of prestige, can you just unmute and let's listen to your contribution?
Yeah, thank you very much. Nice to be on the platform. Um, I greet everybody, people in the Eastern Standard Time. I believe is like I don't think it's noon time yet, but here where I am it's about 8 something, probably about 11 something in Canada, and people in the Eastern Standard Time, 1 man probably in the evening. So I greet everybody. Yeah, I've heard what everybody. Everybody has spoken where with different narrative. I think everything kind of conjured together. But I'm going to come from a different angle. I'm going to come from the fatality, part of it. I mean, from what I just understood, West Africa, practice the highest, polygamy. And that's why the fatality rate in West Africa is very, very high. Among the women, from my understanding, the proportion of married women in polygamy union by countries. I can give you a little bit of figure that I understand. Like Benin Republic, it's mostly I mean the fatality rate is definitely the highest in the world. When it comes to West Africa compared to other African countries. I mean, like Benin Republic, they have about 39%. I think Nigeria is very high there. Nigeria is like about 36%. Burkina Faso, I think Burkina Faso probably the highest in Africa that I understood, about 42%. Ivory Coast is there, Ghana is there, Guinea, more of the Muslim countries, from what I can read here. But Nigeria is pretty high, which is about 39%. So there's no doubt about that. So there has been a debate between polygamy and monogamy. I mean, this is my own opinion. I think when it comes to a fertility rate, people in polygamy family, they are more fertile. I mean, they tend to have more kids than people within a monogamy family. So there's no doubt about it. So that has played a very big role. I don't know. It has to do with culture, West African culture. Pretty much compared to other part of the African countries. So that's a problem, in my opinion. I don't believe in polygamy. Definitely, I don't believe in polygamy because there's a lot of social impact and some other impact that polygamy has to do in families. No doubt about it. If you look at more educated people, they don't tend to be polygamists. I'm not talking about in Nigeria or in Africa, but they don't tend to be comparably because a lot of polygamists are in the villages compared to when you go to the city like Lagos, most of the city that we have, but the
But
ones that
man
yeah,
of
you sir.
prestige, let me ask you this, please. Yeah.
Mhm.
But this Western world that they are deceiving us, they tend to have one wife in their house and they still have girlfriend outside. So what is different from
What is
polygamy?
different? Well, it's
What
not
is
about it's
different?
not it's not a- it's not about Western world. It's men. It's a man nature. Whether you're in Western world or not, I mean, we like more than one woman. Believe me, but it depends on each man. How you want to prioritize their life or whatever, or it depends on the kind of woman. Let's assume you have just one woman. I mean, like you properly stated, I'm not going to use the word you use, like their headache or whatever, one woman is very difficult to maintain. If you really want a marriage, it's very difficult to maintain. For you to handle one woman, it's not easy. I mean, a very strong woman, educated, maybe a feminist. My wife is partially a feminist. So, um, it's very, very difficult for you to fool around. I'm not saying we don't have the tendency. I mean, I'm a man. I mean, I've been around women, particularly when I used to travel a lot. I mean, I travel with my secretary and everything. They are very beautiful. We stay in the same hotel. I mean, there's temptation there. It's just a human nature. But rich people has more privilege. So it has nothing to do with Western world. I mean, in Nigeria, no, you look at the rich people in Nigeria. Are they not the one that romance with all these Hollywood women? I mean, they have 4 or 5 women. Look, you watch Hollywood movie, Thomas. You see how they go out and have concubines everywhere. Just a human nature. But because the law does not allow you to do that in Western country, that's why they are not doing it. So that's different. I mean, Nigeria permit that, but not everybody does it. I mean, I'm not from that family. Even my grandfather, wasn't in that category. But I have a lot of uncle and somebody, people that that was into that, and I can tell you about the impact it's having on the family. I mean, a lot of impact when in my own opinion, from what I have witnessed, it's not easy to be in a polygamy family. I mean, the first wife is going to be jealous to have an affection from the man. I mean, the poverty rate is higher in polygamy, not the rich people. Don't use the worker as an example. No, that's not an example because people in the village, a lot of them, polygamy, they cannot even afford to maintain their kids, educate them or something like that. So the impact of polygamy is just not a good thing in my own opinion. I mean, that's my opinion on that regard.
Thank you so
I'm not a
much.
proper.
Prestige.
Yeah.
I have a question. Dipsy, please let me ask you a question.
That's okay. Chema, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so do you think the divorce rate will decrease if the Western world practice polygamy?
The divorce rate?
Yeah, do you think there's a chance it will decrease if the Western world, like the US, will practice polygamy?
Yeah,
it will
yeah, it
multiply.
may. I mean, very subjective in that. But if you ask me my strict opinion, of course, there's no data to back that because they don't practice polygamy here. So, but in my opinion, I think it will. It may decrease.
It's not really pride, but if they encourage it,
Yeah, I think it will increase because what is it? What's the purpose of having concubines or women outside body? Is it not for our own pleasure? Because we like new things. You may marry the most beautiful woman in the world, and you've been with the woman for 10 or what is that? You don't look at her the same way or whatever. You want something. You want to even after you look at her the same way, you want a challenge. It's just a man mentality. Just even in our mentality, every man, even the ones here. So let's not deny it. But it depends on what kind of person you are. If you try to, respect your family and say, okay, this is my family. Even when you have the temptation, you try to not go into it. So
A
it
man of
depends.
prestige. I want to
Yes, sir.
correct that.
Go
People
ahead.
think is only men that are polygamous in nature. No, it's everybody, mammals, animals, human being, even women. They desire one man or the other after their spouses. They want somebody else after a while. But it's just because you're disciplined. That's why you've made
Okay.
up
The
your
word you
mind.
use, discipline. Right.
Yeah.
That's the difference between men and women.
That is what, don't be saying men. No, everybody. It's
Okay.
everybody.
You
Yeah.
have. I mean, you have a point, but I beg to disagree with you a little bit. The testosterone in men is way higher. Go and read it. It's not even close.
I agree with you about the testosterone. That's the way it is in women too. After some time, some women desire some other men. It's just the discipline, the society, the culture that makes them
Really?
stay.
Dupsy?
Yeah, I'm telling
Really?
you. That is human
Wow.
nature.
But
So
Thomas,
people should stop
women are
bragging.
more
That is
disciplined.
men.
Women are
That is
more smarter
men.
than men.
That
Thomas, you know that.
polygamous in nature. No, human being, even animals.
No, I'm just talking
That
about
Wow.
polygamous
in
in
terms
nature.
of being
Yes.
disciplined.
So it's about discipline. It's about you knowing what you want, education, knowledge, all those things made it for people to stay in a particular marriage they're in. They will be monogamous like that for life. So it's not about men's testosterone. No, it's human nature. Even animals are polygamous in nature.
But I think
So
women,
that's, yeah.
okay, the discipline you
Yeah.
said is, I agree with that discipline,
Yeah.
But you say you want to compare men, about the affection when it comes to, the opposite sex, they are equal. I disagree on that. I mean, I'm not saying you are not, but you are more disciplined. But we tend to want more than one woman or want to not necessarily we want them, but you want to try them to see if you have it. Or when you get to my age, you want to know if you still have it. So, that's
Thank you.
that's the
Yeah.
difference.
Thank you, man of prestige. Baba Ajali Coco,
Go
please can
ahead.
you unmute and let me hear your opinion regarding this topic? Thank you, sir. Is Baba there? Okay, is
Oh,
that my
Ajali
okay?
Coco has 4 wives now. Ajali Coco has
But
4 wives.
Angelica will kill you now.
All right. See, do you want us to move on to another topic?
I think is that not Mike? Who is the last person?
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike is there. Oh yeah.
Mike, go ahead. How are you, Mike? Yeah.
Hey, Mama. Fine. You see, though I didn't catch you guys from the beginning, I just kind of came in not too long, and I see where you guys. Let's see. One thing you have to understand about this life is this: there's actually nothing in this life that's good or bad. It's the application that makes it good or bad. It's how things is done. I'll decide whether it end up being good or bad. Whether it's monogamy, whether it's polygamy, is how it's practiced or how you approach things that will determine whether the outcome will be good or bad. There's no argument we make about against polygamy that it creates poverty or it turns bad. You can also make the same argument about monogamy. Monogamy can also create poverty. So marriage, whether it's polygamy or monogamy, is for responsible people. If you are responsible, you are good, you know what you're doing, you can make it good. If you are irresponsible, whether it's monogamy or polygamy, you make it will be bad. So it's the human being that will determine whether something becomes good or bad. So people need to start, stop this. Well, this is good, that's bad. All that kind of conversation is terrible. But and again, one argument people say is, you do polygamy so you don't desire other women. I agree with what Deuce say is discipline. Whether even if they give you practice polygamy, you still always gonna have desire for more other women and things, more women and things like that. So the cheating part is all about discipline. Whether you practicing monogamy or polygamy, or if you're in a marriage, don't cheat, don't go out and be. You have to have discipline to control yourself from doing things outside of your marriage. So polygamy to me is good in a lot of ways. People have to look at it. Also, if one argument someone was making that I create poverty, that's a lie. Actually, irresponsible polygamy is all create poverty, but responsible polygamy actually create wealth. And I have examples of it.
Mike, I would like you to give an example on the word part of it you just said.
Responsible polygamy create wealth. Okay. You, a man, 2 wives, one big house, 3 of you working. That's a lot of income. That's a lot of income coming in right there. Working together, raising the kids together, sharing the responsibility. That's less cost. You
Hold on, Mike,
understand?
can I interject?
Okay.
Okay. Tell me a polygamy family. Let's say you marry 5 people, particularly in Africa, that the women work. I mean, I have the data.
That's irresponsible polygamy now. That's irresponsible. It's not the polygamy it's not the polygamy that's causing poverty. It's the laziness of the people that's causing poverty. Whether you are in a marriage or not, if you're not working, you're going to be poor. So it's not polygamy that's making them poor. It's just them choosing to be poor. They don't want to work.
Wow, Mike, that makes sense. Yeah.
How do you blame polygamy? Even those who are not married, if they're single and they're not working, they're still going to be poor now. It's not the polygamy that's making them poor. They're not working. That's why they're poor. It's irresponsible human being that's poor. You don't blame them on polygamy. Whether it's monogamy, you and your wife don't work, you sit at home, you'll be poor too. If you are one man, one woman, you're not working, you're going to be poor. You have to make money in this life, you have to be hardworking. So what will determine whether you have money or not is your productivity. If 5 people, you say 5 wives, right? One husband, 5 wives, and all 5 of them are working, they're putting their money together, they will build huge wealth. That's 6 people.
But the statistics doesn't back you up. It doesn't back your narrative.
The what?
Yeah, I said the statistics does not back your narrative up.
And now, it's irresponsible. There are people are practicing. In Africa, we have irresponsible people. They're not doing things for. There's poverty in Africa, period. You can't blame it all on polygamy because people don't want to be productive. That's all it is. The statistic are you saying all poverty in Africa is caused by polygamy? Africa is just poor. Yeah.
All right, we must move on to another topic. We have several topics that we're covering. Engaging conversation around that. Let me bring this up. I heard what this lady has to say. and then Doopsy will kick off the conversation with whoever she wants to lead it. But hear this. I somewhat agree with this. Do you?
Europe, where 2,500 people were shown pictures, photos of people between the ages of 18 and 80. And they were asked to guess their age. When they did that, there was this group of people that everyone guessed to be 10 years younger than their actual age. And they're like, what is the correlation? And they're scratching their head and they're trying to figure it out. And it turns out that the correlation was these were the people having intimacy 3 times a week or more. You look 10 years younger than your cohorts if you're having regular intimate connection. That alone is enough for me to want to have a lot of because I want to look 10 years younger. But the interesting thing about it is that it also reboots your nervous system. It also sends out an endocrine cascade of neurotransmitters and feel-good hormones. It generates tons of oxytocin. All of these things point to having great will make you live longer. There was a study done in Europe where 2,500 people were shown.
Yes, but she wasn't specific in a video. Who are the people she's having the sex with? Is it random people or a partner? So that's my own regarding that. I support her, but I don't
can I
know.
kick
Yeah,
can I kick
let me
it
just.
off?
Yeah, let me just say. Yeah, so I don't know does she have does she have a partner or multiple people? I think what she said is good in marriages or when you have a particular person that you're with. But if it's going to be random because you want to live longer, that's when I'm against it. So she's not very specific in the video. So go ahead, Thomas.
Thank you, my second boss today. I think. Are you sure you can do that 3, 4 times in a week? It's only if you guys are not productive. I don't think
It's
there's chance for
possible.
that.
It depends on your connection to that person. It's possible, and I've
How
said
many
it
times a
before.
week is ideal? If you're in a marriage or in
Yeah.
a long-standing relationship, how many times a week is
I
ideal?
don't even think you should be counting it. It should come the way it's, it should just come. If it's there, you guys should go ahead and do it. So you should
Okay,
stop counting. And I've said
Doozy,
it before on this program. That is
Doozy,
very important. And
I
a lot of
agree.
people came for me. A lot of
Doozy,
people
let me.
came for me that it's not possible. How can you be saying you and your husband? You have to have it, but not with
Miss
Doozy,
multiple
Dipsy,
people.
Miss
Yeah.
Doozy,
Dipsy.
Yeah.
Doozy.
Go
Let me
ahead,
ask you a
man of
question.
prestige.
Is this narrative? Is this not?
Adupsi, you don't even let me land before you cut me
Oh,
off.
go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry
Thomas. I'm
about
sorry. Go ahead.
that.
Go
Thomas.
ahead, Thomas.
Thomas, go ahead. Sorry, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I'm actually at work, so I have a short break. So let me say my thing so I can keep quiet and listening. I think, like compared to let me use Mars as an example. I will not deceive you. I'm a very hardworking person. My wife, she's a hardworking person. 3 times or 4 times in a week, a year or year. I don't think there is
How many
chance for
times do you
that.
guys do it in a month? How many times in a month?
Let's say a week, maybe twice a week. Yeah.
That's not
Yes.
bad, though. That's not bad. That's not
Yes,
bad.
but a year or year is the time
Eh,
and
but
the
you are doing it twice a week. It's okay, Thomas. That's okay. Or is it
no,
once a week or once a month? Don't turn it into a depot injection. That's what I'm against. Don't turn it into a depot injection that you'll be taking once a month. Do you understand? This is not an
yeah,
injection.
I
So
understand. Yeah.
try. Maybe once a week is okay if that's what you can do.
Can
Do you
I come
But
in now?
understand?
Dipsy,
Yeah.
Dipsy,
Go
Yes, you
ahead.
can come in. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna come at this from two angles. One of them is gonna be from marriage, and one of them is gonna be from having multiple partners. Um, I think there's some effect of having maybe 3 or 4, sex a week, of course, with different women. I mean, there's a lot of effect on that, in my own opinion. I mean, the pressure you have to go try to satisfy this one, try to hide from one place to, play, the game men play, this one going to ask you, where have you been? All those are very stressful. I mean, anxiety and depression, hello? Can you hear me? Something happened. What happened? Hello?
Man of
Yeah.
President, go on. Somebody came in,
So,
is or muted, so I have muted
yeah.
him. Yeah, go on.
Thank
Okay.
you. Go ahead.
So I was talking on the on from having multiple partners. I mean, 4 or 5 women outside marriage or maybe or something like that. I mean, it's very stressful to undergo because you have to play a game to maintain it, to maintain them. I mean, financially, lying from one woman to another woman that you are with her, the next day you say, where have you been? You say, I went to the gym. I mean,
Man
all
of
those are very
Prestige,
stressful.
man of Prestige, please
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
Simba, you have two device on your side, so the YouTube and the StreamYard, so it's interfering on the stream. So
Okay. Let me
could you
let me
please
let me
switch
let
off?
me go
Yeah,
out and come back. Let me go out and come
not
back.
you, not you. No,
Oh, okay.
no, not you. Man of Prestige, I'm talking to Simba. I'm talking to Simba. Yeah, Simba, please switch off the YouTube. Listen to the StreamYard. There's the interference if I bring you in. Yeah, go on. Man of Prestige.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you have a multiple partners, it can be very stressful, like I enumerated earlier. The whole game you have to play in order to keep, let's assume you have five women outside, we married or not married, you have to play a game, you have to lie to each other. I mean, it's just too stressful, apart from the financial, let's assume you have the money, so that's not a problem. But you have to lie to keep them, it's very stressful, the game, and I mean, I just feel like it does not worth it. Then if I want to talk about yeah, go ahead.
None of you're overthinking what she's saying, And the reason why I agree with her is like for just having one partner, it's a form of exercise, just like working out 2 to 3 times a week. So
Hmm.
it does do good things for your body,
No, no,
It's,
no, no. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to having them one partner. The one I just stated was having multiple partners. Maybe outside their marriage or
but
whatever. The game.
she didn't say anything about having multiple partners.
Okay,
She's
okay. So
saying
let me
that
concentrate on the. Let me concentrate
intimate
on the
period of
marriage.
okay.
Yeah, let me concentrate on the marriage part of it. If that's the topic, I'm going to stick to the strip. Okay. Um. I kind of look at it differently. It's not necessarily what pertaining to me. I think it's having sex at least twice a week or whatever. Maybe I think it kind of depends on your age too. Because um having multiple like 3 times a day or something like that. I mean, it can increase less happiness, decrease sexual satisfaction. And reduce the well-being. That's the way I see it. I mean, the sex is good because I think it helps you mentally. There's no doubt about it. Whether it keep you young or whatever. I mean, there's no statistics to back that up. I mean, that may be true. I mean, you have seen people who don't have sex. I don't know who don't have sex, but they still look younger. Not they, but if the sex part of it is going to, make you look younger, that I can't really tell. I've not seen anything that back up that data.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you, man of press. Let's hear Chioma. Chioma, go ahead with your submission. Yeah.
No, I was just saying that I agree with the lady because intimacy is like working out, and people are like gym rats. They're always at the gym, so it's like that with sex. When you have a partner, you do what you have to do as often as you feel like it. So it does
So,
good
man, how
things
is
for
that? How is
your
that supposed to be
body.
working out? Are you really working out?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's
actually
a form of
a good form of
exercise.
exercise.
Don't
Yeah.
you
I'm just,
sweat,
I'm just, I'm just messing with
manifest?
you. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, it's a good form of exercise actually. Yeah, go ahead, Chioma.
I think that's all I have to say. That I agree with her because it is a
Okay.
good form of exercise, and what exercise can do for your body, physical
Exactly.
activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
very
hold on.
exhilarating.
Duty, let me ask you something. So I think the point we are talking about is not matter of having sex or not having sex twice a week, 3 times a week, but it's how much you have sex. I mean, is there anything like too much? Let's say with one partner, and you have family, you have job, but is there anything that is too much in your own
No,
opinion or
there's
not?
no. You can do that as many times as you want. I mean, if you're
Okay.
young and you're able to, why not? You know, people work out in the morning and they work out in the evening when they come back from work, and then they work out after having dinner. You know that, right?
Yeah. I'm a typical example. So
It helps with digestion too.
okay.
Yeah.
Shoma has wisdom.
Wisdom, Giddy. Tell me,
Thank you, Mike.
can I hear your submission on this? Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Everyone has a very cool input to this one. I think it's as general as, when I look at these research headlines, like, oh, 3 times a week is a good one. Someone who only does it once a week, they could tell their partner, oh, we're not doing it enough if we want to stay young. like some people might think like that, but usually the study is supported by maybe the amount of dopamine release that person experiences per week. So someone who is in a happy place in a relationship or in their life, they tend to look healthier and they would tend to look younger. So it could apply to other things too, like as Choma mentioned, working out is a good dopamine release. Like if you are always active and involved in things that you enjoy, then it would lead to a sort of a better well-being. But it's okay to encourage couples to, be intimate as much as possible. So maybe this is a good thing to share, but I don't think it's like the ultimate form of reducing aging. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tammy. Mike, can I hear your submission on this, please?
Okay, so from what I understand, arguing whether whatever many times.
Sorry, Dopsy, is this topic not too adult for Mike? Is it at the?
One man
Is
looking
it come up
for
enough?
one. One man. You won't leave my
One man,
brother
that is what
alone.
I want to say. But Mike is just 18 now. Mike is just 18.
Who leave Mike alone? Mike, go ahead. Don't mind them, please. Go ahead.
This is a solution to this thing. I think people, before you get a partner, make sure that your partner match your level of what's the thing? I don't know how to put it. Yeah, something like that. Like if you are somebody that likes something like a lot, make sure you get with a partner that likes the same thing a lot. Like if you're someone that likes to do it like maybe 10 times a week, make sure the person you are getting with is the person that also likes to do it 10 times a week. Because it'll be a problem if you're just gonna find someone that is not into it like that, like you. So that would be a problem. So I think many the factors people have to be considering before picking partner. Like a lot of people just pick people. They don't question a lot of things. Like they don't put this into perspective and actually get to know the person they're getting with. Because a lot of times, man, what break people apart is just the fact that they're not on the same uh, level of or same page in terms of certain things. If you like someone that likes to go just once a week, then find someone that only likes to go once a week. That won't mind. But if you just want to get
But
with
there should
someone,
always be sex before marriage. That's what
This is
Mike is
why
saying.
you need to
There
test
should be
drive their
sex
car
before
before you buy
marriage.
it.
Exactly.
you test
Sex before marriage, please. That's what
yeah,
Mike is
experience
saying.
yourself before marriage. Those kind of
Oh,
things.
no,
Know
no,
who
no,
you are
no, no, no,
getting
no.
married to.
Mike, I disagree with man of Presid. You don't drive the
Why?
car before you buy it.
Why? Thomas, tell us.
That's why they
No,
don't like
no,
buying.
no.
Yeah,
No, 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 no. If you, no, no, no,
Hold
no,
on, make
no,
una
no, no, no.
let Thomas talk now.
Let me land now. If you buy a new car, you don't test drive them before you buy them.
No, Thomas, don't mind them. They are trying to promote immorality. That's what they are
Baba,
doing.
now where for
Immorality,
you?
yes, that
Me,
is
if I
it.
Uh,
drive my new car
That is
before I
it.
buy it, let's be real.
I
Wow.
want Mr.
no,
Moral today. I want Mr. Moral son. Doctor
you, you know,
son.
you know, Simba.
Go,
You,
go
you,
What's
you
ahead,
up,
don't,
my
you
Simba?
don't
Go
have
ahead.
darling.
to.
Rosie. Let Mike finish, Rosie. Okay, yeah, Rosie, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
And then another thing again, sometimes when you are overworked, you are so exhausted, you might not be able to do it often as you would like to. I'm talking of myself, my own experience. I noticed that anytime we're on vacation, after eating and sleeping, you are well relaxed. Of course, you want to do it every time. But when you are so busy, you're running around. By the time you come home, you are so exhausted. You just want to eat and hit the bed. You don't even want, anything during the night. You just want to rest because you are so exhausted. So to me, one, age matters because aging affects the body, and then health too. You have to have good health to be able to be having sex every day if you want. If you don't have good health, you can't do that every time as often as you want. And to me, I believe in sex before marriage is very important because, for instance, I have a
Say it
friend.
louder, sis.
That is a
Say it
sin. That is
louder,
a
sis.
sin.
Say
That
It's
it
is
not
a
a
louder,
sin.
sin if you are going to
sis.
marry that guy. It's not a sin.
No, that is a sin.
If
Madam, yeah,
I
that is
don't
a
look,
sin.
let me tell you, I am a Christian. I believe in chastity, but sometimes people use Christianity to deceive others. I have a close friend. She was schooling in the Bahamas. Somebody from here in the US said he wanted, it was an arranged marriage. When this guy, they are both Christians. When this guy went to visit her in the Bahamas, he was like, "Oh no, we can't do anything. No, we have to wait until after we are married." So I was asking her, so when you guys met, when he kissed you, his thing did not rise. She said, no, nothing. I said, a man is holding you, you are kissing intimately, there is no movement down there. Then you should know something is wrong. She said, no, she didn't think so because, they are Christians and they want to wait. Okay, eventually they got married. The ma- Listen, no, they got married. When they got married, she was in school in the Bahamas. He went over from US to marry her. Do you know after the wedding, when she said, okay, now the day has come, let's do it. The man said, no, you are in school. Let's wait until after you graduate because I don't want you to be pregnant. I want you to finish school before we have it. But the problem was the man had ED. Instead of telling her the truth, he deceived her into marriage. So I believe that you can't deceive me if you have erectile dysfunction. If you have problem, I need to know. You can't just deceive me, track me, and deceive me into marriage only at the end of the day, and now find out that you can't do it. No way. Based on that grounds, I believe a woman should divorce a man based on that, because that's deception.
Wow.
That is
But,
deception.
no, 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 no. Princess, that
You could
is.
open up to the woman. You can have
Thomas,
problems.
maybe they don't necessarily have to do it, but they should talk about it. Like
But if you deceive a
They should do
woman,
it. Mike, madam alone. They
no,
if
in
should
you
case
do
in
it.
case
deceive a woman,
I want the religious one, don't be
Hey, I want no more religious talk,
but
Lori. I
me,
want
I'm a
Dr. Silva.
Christian. I believe
That
you do
that
it
is wrong.
before
I
marriage,
agree
but
with
make sure
but
you
Joyce.
they should
deceive
at
the
least
man.
Honestly.
they should at least discuss it. Like, okay, how many
They,
times
they
do
should
you like
do
to
That,
it.
do it?
They should
Do
do
you
it because
they,
me, I'm a hot girl. I don't
no,
want
princess,
somebody.
that is immorality. You are
What is
promoting
immorality? With the
immorality.
man you want to marry, the man you want
That
to
is.
marry,
It doesn't matter. It
you are
doesn't
going
it
to
matter.
does
It
marry
now.
doesn't
him. You
matter.
say you
She
have
got
set a
married to
wedding
come and
date.
jam.
You will
What are you
not do it.
talking
No, I
about? I
don't
mean,
believe
come
in
on.
that story. I don't believe
I
that is
mean,
that's
Are
how they
you
deceive
are
a
you
lot
a
of people.
but
Christian?
Thomas,
I
all
want no
this.
Are you a
That's how they
Christian,
deceive a
Rosie?
lot of people.
Sorry, hold on. Let's hear from DJ, who I think is joining us for the very first time. DJ, I see you all the time in the comment section.
Yeah.
Why have you not been joining us? If you're as handsome as this, then we need you on the screen to come
Yes,
and
sir.
make the hearts of Doopsy flutter. Eh?
I'm a troublemaker. That's why. I'm a
woman,
troublemaker.
leave me alone, no.
Mm. Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good
Can y'all
morning.
Good
hear
Go
me?
morning.
ahead.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
morning
go
Oh,
to
okay,
you.
ahead.
cool, cool, cool.
Let's hear from you.
One
Uh,
man, let me say something before you.
mm.
DJ came in because you know he likes women. Now
Oh
we are
yes, I
talking
do.
about women now. Now
It's gonna be
he's
short.
here.
And I want to use his good looks to intimidate Chioma, who thinks he's the finest person on this platform.
Okay, so this topic is really interesting, and I'm 50 years old. 1973, I was born April. So, and I'm married. Um, when I wanted to get married, I had two, potentials, two girls, two women that I was dating. Very smart, beautiful, they're very successful. But then I factored in the, you know, sex part, because at that point I was thinking, okay, they were both in the same category. And, like the topic that we're having right now, you know, I wanted to know what else can they offer me, because I don't want to have to be looking outside, just want to stick to one man because of what Mike said. So I chose my wife now, you know, and she was more sexual than the other one. But after a year or two of marriage, now we're thinking of buying a house. We got to work more harder. We got to get promotion from work. And she started getting tired of having sex, you know. And I started thinking about, like, did I make did I make mistakes, Um, and we had kids, and we started going from 3 times a day to like one time in a month, you know, um, to the point that we had to get therapy. So back to what Mike said, you can get married to somebody that you think is sexually, active, but as time goes on, responsibility kicks in, then things will change. So for the listeners out there, um, just know that before you get into marriage, unless you're, content with wherever you are, because if you want to move forward, you want your kids to go to a better school, you want to live in a decent environment area, yes, you have to do a lot of work, and sex is going to be out of it. So, and another suggestion is, like I put in the comment section, sometime maybe you used to have that sexual urge and your significant other doesn't have it. There's always a way around it. Get yourself a toy, whatever you got to do, to keep you looking young. Because yes, it's a form of exercise. It is true, and that's my contribution.
Yeah, that was what I was saying also, that sometimes aging to affect the urge. Health
can I say
does
something?
affect the health. You understand? And then type of job you are doing. If you are fully rested, you are not overworked. There are so many factors that could
But
affect the
you should
couples.
always
But you
find
should
time.
try to make
Always,
sure you
always.
fulfill.
It's
Of course,
very
that is
important.
If you don't
Can I
have
yeah.
time,
can
just buy your
can
wife a toy.
can I say
No.
It's,
something
it's
before the
it's
guy leave?
always good to have time, though.
Can I
It's
say
always
something
good to
before the
have time.
guy leave?
Please say something quickly. I want to hear
Yeah,
Simbra's
yeah,
opinion on this,
yeah. No,
please.
I
Yeah.
just want to intervene because of the guy that just came on the screen. And I said I'm on the same age bracket with what he just said. Yeah, I completely agree. Not in totality to what he said, but he has some good points. When you be married, I've been married for a long time. That's the first wife I married. We met in college and something like that. So we've been married. For almost about 20 years right now. So what he said, there's a validity to what he said, but I have to just put a caveat to that. Like he said, if you been married for the same person, the beauty, you may not look at her. The beauty may not be the same, because age, you may be, some men may gain weight, the opposite sex may gain weight, the desire you to have may have declined, that's definitely true. But you have to practice whatever you take to get that woman. You need to maintain it. If you're used to go out, you bring flour or whatever you do before. I mean, that's like a social appeal. If you're used to have a lot of foul play, whatever you need to do to recreate the social art. If you do that, if in at all you live to 80 or whatever, that's still gonna be there. I mean, that's the way I see it. Maybe I'm talking from my own experience. Thank you.
Thank you, man of prestige. Let's listen to
Princess,
Simba
please,
because we
can
are
I
gonna.
just say something for a minute, please? I beg you,
Oh,
Adopsy,
okay,
please.
okay.
Yeah,
Go
and then
ahead.
also about having it, like that woman was saying, she said, if you have it multiple times, it kind of enhances your youth. I don't think that is true. If that is true, that means all these call girls, then they should be using, they shouldn't be aging. But you find that a lot of promiscuous girls, in time to come, they start aging. And these call girls, in
They're
time to come,
aging
they
because they
age.
don't sleep at night.
But they sleep in the day. And then men too, and I've noticed the men that are very
But I
promiscuous.
think what
They
you
look
said makes
Princess, I
older.
sense.
don't think she's talking about multiple men though. I think
Okay,
she's
because
talking about
some
all.
men that are very
Yeah.
promiscuous too, they age faster.
I
After a
don't think
while.
she's talking about multiple men
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
Simba,
Gypsy,
Josie.
yeah,
Gypsy, I gotta
thank you so
go.
much, my
I just
darling.
wanna, yeah,
Uh,
thank you very much. You guys have a
okay,
wonderful day.
DJ, thanks for coming.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Dr. Simba Isonu, can you just go ahead and let us hear
Why
your
did you
opinion?
start mentioning my name
Is
and put it on? Sorry, Lord,
Isonu,
Lucy.
Isonu. Please, can you
Dr.
go
Simba
ahead?
son.
Isonu, go ahead, please. Don't attack me.
Okay,
Come on. Attack me. Just go ahead with your contribution.
Simba
okay,
son.
thank
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Simba. We can hear you very
Okay.
loud and clear.
Okay, what I want to say in this case is that there are individual variations. As Princess Rose said, some people age do affect their performance, but some people they are just like old wine that it even improve their performance on the bed depending on the way you take care of your body. She made mention of the prostitute that most of them they get aging. It's not sex that make them to get aging. It's because of all those things, alcohol, those malpractices that they engage in, drugs, and smoking and all those things. Those are the things, and then the things that they use to bleach their bodies and all those things is not actually sex that make them got aging earlier. So my own perception about it is that even medically for male, the males are more sexually active. It also protects them against prostate cancer. And I've heard some females also complaining that if they lack sex, sometimes it affect them. Some start having abdominal pains and all those things. Though I don't know the physiology that surrounded that. So that is my the having it. Some people it depends on the way you take care of your body. Some people don't do exercise. The type of food that we consume these days doesn't make the people of this generation to last longer. Our papa, those days, even at 70, they are still sexually active because they eat organic food. They do a lot of exercise. But this day, you see men with pot belly and all those things. If you are having pot belly, you will not be active on the bed. And then because we put a lot of stress on ourselves, because
Simba.
Somebody
Go
who
now,
on.
told you that? Somebody who
But that's
told you
the
that?
truth, though. That's the truth.
Somebody who told you that?
I don't, let them just finish. I'm a man of prestige. Then, but so don't let me lose my thoughts. So these days, we put a lot of we put ourselves under unnecessary sex because of materialistic things that we are demanding for. The olden days, people they don't put a lot of stress on themselves. If they can afford maybe one cloth per year, eat their food, drink their palm wine, and all those things. They don't put it, but now we have a lot of responsibility. You want the cars, you want this type of car. We have so that those kind of stress. In fact, it doesn't apart from the sexual activity, it also reduce our lifespan, and that's why people don't live long these days. By the time they are 50, they're already having one non-communicable disease or the other, diabetes, hypertension, and those things. By the time they creep in, is a lot of things. Yeah, especially those of you who are living in developed world, you have so many night shift that you do. Some people do 12 hours, some people do 16-hour shift, and all those in the name of getting more money. So all these things they have a cumulative effect on your body. So I think that's what I want to. So it's not about the sex, it's what we actually put ourselves through. Kind of stress we subject our body through these days
I agree with
doesn't make us
Dr.
like that.
Simba for the very first time. I agree with you, Simba. So this is the first time we are agreeing on a particular topic.
Doctor
Doctor
son.
Me we say
Son.
doctor Sonoma, me we say doctor Sonoma,
Mo
abi
ti change mind
Lucy.
me, mo ti change mind me, Simba. Oh, it's a Doctor Son.
Mo ti bú ẹ láàárọ̀ yìí, mo ti bú ẹ
Kí mo
láàárọ̀
tún
yìí,
ṣe?
béèrè lọ́wọ́ man one man. Mo ti sọ pé
Kí mo
olóò ní
tún
jẹ́
ṣe?
ká sọ̀rọ̀. mo ti sọ fún wọn mà mo náà ní jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀.
aláwọ̀ ẹ̀ kò sọ̀rọ̀ now, Dr. Simba. Ó dá ò kì í ṣe sọnù mọ́. Dr. Simba, how do you sọnù?
All right,
Go ahead,
Dupsy.
woman. Yeah,
Dupsy,
go ahead.
shall we move on to this really big topic just to manage the time? This
go
is
ahead.
Feyi Daniels, the erstwhile Yopi pastor. So let's first see him in his Yopi face, and then we see what happened to him next. So let's watch this first, Dupsy, and then we play a second clip, and then you take the conversation forward.
Yeah, that people came upon. Some people have said that well, we cannot listen to this prophet because see the case he had with police and a member of his church and allegations of sexual abuse. How do you address those issues?
Okay, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
If you notice, there's no public statement on that.
Yeah, from you, yes.
From me,
yes.
No public statement from me on that. And the reason is that I was trained to handle controversies with silence.
Right.
That's what I was trained. And these things started way back. You know, there was a time I was invited to preach for someone. I haven't been hosted. I got to my room, and to get into my room, I met somebody in my room. So I thought I got into the wrong room. I tried to leave the room. I checked, I looked at my right. I thought, these are my things. So what are you doing here, a lady? And by the time I looked back, I saw a camera behind me. I'm athletic. So I turned immediately and went after the guy that was holding the camera. The guy fell down, punched him. Did I punch him? It's not good to punch people as a pastor. And broke the camera.
You gave me a holy punch.
Holy punch. And all that. That was when that started.
Right.
And so the person that was used for that later got into the public and I think went into the media and all that. So the case was to the police station, but till date is without merit.
Right.
And I just moved on with my life and just continued doing what God has told me to do. Because if the case was with merit, most likely I should be in jail.
Right. Yes, ideally, yes. But people say that in this society, in Nigerian society, that powerful people don't get powerful people. You're a powerful person, you own a church, people respect you, people love you.
Okay.
And you're also wealthy, you're not poor, you're powerful. So, of course, and there's corruption in the system.
Okay.
So you might have manipulated the system to ensure that the outcome was favorable to you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if that's what people would say.
Okay. All right. That's what people may think, but that's not what happened. And that's not what I did.
Right. Right. So there is no merit to these accusations in any form.
No merit in any form.
And you answered it with silence because you knew where these allegations were coming from.
100%.
Right.
Is this the only one woman?
Yes, no, there's one more. So just to give the backdrop to that guy, so that is Pastor Feyi Daniels, who infamously told us that Peter Obi was going to be declared the president of Nigeria and Tinubu was going to be arrested. So none of those things came to pass. Peter Obi did not become the president of Nigeria. Tinubu did not become, Tinubu was not arrested. So both of those things did not come to pass, but something did come to pass. Somebody got arrested. So Dupsy, let me just give you this. It says, court sentences Lagos cleric Feyi Daniels to life imprisonment for raping church member. The Lagos State Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court in Ikeja has sentenced a clergyman, Bishop Oluwa Feyi Rokpo Daniels, to life imprisonment for the offense of raping a pastor in his church, Irene Christian Ministry, in June 2020. Delivering the judgment in the case today, January the 26th, the presiding judge, Justice Rahman Oshodi, said he believed the testimony of the complainant, as well as other witnesses who gave direct evidence, which were not contradicted at any point during the trial, despite the denial of the defendant. So here is the pastor now going to jail. So, understanding. Sorry, let me put down. So that's the pastor now, convicted now, life imprisonment. So what's your understanding of that space? Is this justice done? And let me just add this as well. Is life imprisonment excessive? So all of that at Dupsy.
Yeah, thank you, one man. So to start with, when the government should research into this kind of men, this so and these so-called men of God, they should research into them. It's time to start being proactive regarding this in our country. These are mentally unstable people. So if you're saying life imprisonment for somebody like this, is it that is going there to receive treatment? So these people should be well taken care of. And the lot of people like that, when they would tell you, God says, I saw a vision, God told me this. The moment you hear that, that is mental instability. People are not stable in their minds anymore. So this kind of people now, you will let your children go to them, they will RAPE them, and people will start shouting all over. It is time for us to gain knowledge regarding this kind of people. And please, Christians here, I'm not talking about you guys only. Anybody religious, Islamic, Buddhist, or anybody, all those people that are always in visions, are always telling you what God said to them, should be examined. They are not really okay. So if the government is taking this guy now into life imprisonment, is it that they're taking him there to take care of him mentally? Because he's not okay in his mind. And there are lots of them like that in Nigeria and all over the world. It's not particular to Nigeria alone, but it's just that we have a lot of them in Nigeria because our people tend to go towards religion. They want to hear what God has said to them. They want to know what is going to happen to them in future. So it's time for our government to now go ahead to research more about these people. They should just see what is happening. I'm talking from the head, woman. I'm not talking from this guy because this guy is not that popular. I'm talking from the most successful amongst these people. That person is not mentally stable. I'm not mentioning any name. You guys know whom I'm talking about. Yeah, go ahead, Chairman.
I agree with you that, to do more research, but I don't like that you said they're not mentally stable, because we can't really, to play the devil's advocate here, we can't judge the things of God, especially prophetic declarations, because it may not happen now, but possibly in the future. Just like we didn't think that a whole Trump will be arrested. So I'm not saying Tinubu is going to get arrested, but we don't know the future,
He said he was specific about that he's going to get arrested before they swear him in. It was specific. He wasn't talking about the future.
That could be for 2027. You just don't know. We don't know.
Please, people should stop all these things and let us move on. Let's move on and gain knowledge regarding things like this.
We need to just be cautious.
Most of these people, they take substance. They're on something.
But you still have to be cautious how we speak of.
I'm not cautious, so this is my opinion, Choma. I'm not cautious at all.
Choma, if I could say something, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe God talks to people. But most of these people that prophesy in Nigeria is just permutation. They are deceivers. They lie.
Yeah.
God has not sent them. They are sending themselves. Their belly is the one pushing them. Most of them, they tell lies. Okay, look at like all these big geos now. Every day before, they used to prophesy. Now that people are monitoring their prophecies, they have reduced how they prophesy.
Princess.
A lot of these people, they tell lies. It's not God sending them. They send themselves.
And Princess Rosie, do you know what I think? Because when you say that is a good argument, Princess Rosie. But when some people now believe this kind of thing, and I believe you, if you're a pathological liar, you start believing the things that you're saying. So when a GO came and said he had tea with God, Do you know he's not lying?
What type of
he said he had tea with God. He
He
actually
had
saw it because he
cappuccino.
that one is
Cappuccino.
lies, it's not a mental problem.
Come on now, that's the mental
Okay,
problem now.
It's mental
it's
problem.
not mental problem. It's lying because he lives a lavish lifestyle. He has to be able to find way to maintain that lifestyle.
I am
Okay, what
telling
about
you,
Wait.
Rosie,
what
it's
of
more than that. It's
A
more than
man
that.
that's well educated is telling the whole world, knowing that most people have
it is
sense,
deception?
that
It's deception.
but no, it's a mental no. If you want to if you want to deceive people, right, you have to know who you are deceiving, knowing that you can deceive that person, right? But you knowing that you can't deceive majority of most people that are watching. I won't say most people, but a lot of people. You know, a lot of people are intelligent enough to know that you can't. That's a lie. So it's a mental problem for
But
him to say that. He believe it.
even his son, Leke, knows that the father is that's why he called the father grandmaster. Because he knows the secret of his dad. These people are
Rosie,
just
No. The
lying.
man, they believe what they are
Rosie,
saying. That's why
They're
we know it's a
just
mental
Mike,
problem.
lying and deceiving people.
Mike, let me say this. Yeah, Rosie and Prince, is it the same man that said he drove motor without
He
petrol
drove motor
to
from Ore to
Lagos?
Lagos without
Or
charging.
Exactly,
He's
Lagos
Thomas.
without
lying.
Enter in
petrol?
there still war.
Okay,
Enter in there
let me
still
tell you
war.
something. When they are moving around, they move around with bodyguards, fully armed, but they will tell their own congregates to be going around with stickers and this thing. They don't. They come abroad for their own physical assessment. They take care of themselves, but they encourage people to buy olive oil, to buy water, to buy handkerchief. They're
Princess,
just deceiving people. They are making
all
money
this
from people.
Baba, God will not forgive them. Somebody said he drove a car from Ore to Lagos without petrol. And we
Is
believe
he not
them.
the same guy that asked people to comb their hair? He brought quick one my yarning one before you go to the embassy. Come and comb your hair.
God,
It's all lies.
God.
Only Baba ain't gone, but he just scamming people.
Rosie, do you know why I said we should be more proactive with these things? We can all be saying it's scam and all that, but these people, they need help. Oh,
They
I'm
need help
telling you
now.
the facts. They do
They
actually,
are
So
suffering
that
from
means
mental
because we
problems.
can just be
that means
saying that it's all
millions of
scam and all
Nigerians
that.
have mental problem then. That means millions
I
Yes,
now.
now.
agree.
So there are
I
more
agree.
insane
Them
people
and their
than sane
followers, they
people.
don't
I
have
agree
mental problems.
totally. There are more insane people than the sane ones in Nigeria. I agree with that actually. So these people are not okay in their mind. They actually can say these things. Baba actually saw that God had tea with him. He's not
What type
lying.
of tea? What type of tea?
The
Was it Lipton
Lipton,
tea? Was it PG
Lipton,
tea? Was it a
Lipton,
No,
green
oh,
tea?
cappuccino,
Is it?
Lipton,
cappuccino.
Can you
Lipton.
imagine? Oh, yeah, go and do back one full leg back. Liars.
And somebody like Choma will come and say prophetic. Come on.
What
Temi,
prophetic is that?
let me hear Temi, please. Temi, can you just let me hear your submission regarding this? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the last 6-7 months. They've been exposed, ministers, pastors, the same here in North America, Europe. Is there a crackdown on fake fake ministry
People are
or
waking up. People are
yeah?
gaining knowledge. People are
Mm,
waking up. They're not living
mm.
unconsciously anymore. A lot of people live unconsciously, but people are trying to gain knowledge and just live consciously. That's what's happening. Temi, go ahead.
So it could be that after all this is happening, where are people going to, who are they going to trust when it comes to their faith, their Christianity? If any televangelist is preaching that, everyone's going
How
to
much
be
can you
convinced
say?
something's going to come out, right?
It doesn't
Sorry.
mean true ones. So the true ones still exist, but 99% of these ones are false pastors. But you still have some few that are still saying the truth, going the right way. But they are very few. The majority of them, they are
And they're
scammers.
not popular.
So they are saying
People
the
don't
truth
want
So
when
to
they
that's
tell you
why
trust
that
you
them.
need
God
to
told them
know God
something.
for
Right.
yourself. You need to know God for yourself. Don't let anybody to deceive you. Take the Bible, study the Bible, live by the word of God. Don't let anybody lay hands on
But
you
even
and say
you,
they
God,
want
you
to
are making
anoint
wrong
you,
statement.
scam you.
How can you say the Bible is the word of God? That one
Look,
alone itself,
let me tell you,
it's just
I
mental.
had an experience. There was one guy that calls himself, he said he's
No,
a prophet.
How can you
Mike,
say the
somebody
Bible is the
said
word
the
of
Mike
God?
Bible is the
Shola.
word
Oh, you
of
know,
God.
Mr.
Did
Rose is
God tell you
mad.
that
Let me
that's
Imagine
tell
I
the
you,
word?
said, how can you say
Mike
that? That is word
Shola.
of God.
Mike Shola, word of God, according to
According to
what?
your
God
faith.
came down,
It's
told you that that's
according to
his
your
word.
faith. According to your faith.
No,
Mike,
man,
don't
come
you
on now.
believe in all
That's what we are
these
calling
things?
mental problem. Yeah, when we start believing,
It's fine. What
okay,
I can do today now.
when you start confusing our faith, go and jump off a cliff, say your faith, yeah, because of faith, you won't die.
But
Come on,
Mike, don't you
you can't
believe
be
in
saying
Ifa?
faith. There's no
Don't you
such
Yeah,
thing
we
believe
as
in
can't be
faith.
Ifa
doing
and
this
all the rest?
We have
silently.
to
It
use
depends on
logic,
what
man. We
you
can't keep using
believe.
faith. We can't say faith because it doesn't make sense to say a Bible written in English and all those things. Now it was God that wrote it, and you are telling me that faith, because faith will tell you to believe it. It doesn't make sense, man. Why would God write Bible?
Okay.
Why would God write
Where's
his
your
book?
faith, Mike? Where's your
Okay.
faith? Jesus walked on water. Where's your faith, Mike?
Mike believes in
That's
Ifa
why I'm
and all
supposed to
this
believe it when I
Babalawo
didn't see
thing.
him
So
walk
are
on
those
water.
things true? If you believe in Ifa and all these things, that's your faith. That's what
I
you
don't
believe.
believe. I don't believe anything. I don't
But
believe
you
in
call
anything.
yourself a traditionalist,
But
right?
I don't believe. I only believe what I see. You
So
understand? Anything in my
you are an
tradition is
atheist.
the one
Are
I
you
believe
an
is the one I
Please,
atheist?
that
see.
one is in US.
Are you an atheist?
Like
No, no.
Thomas.
Okay.
What I see is what I believe. In my own tradition,
Okay, so you
the
see
one I
Ifa.
see is the one I see is the one I believe. But what I don't see, the part of you I
But
don't
when you
see.
tell us, you and Babati, when you start telling us about Ifa and all the rest, what are you
Now
seeing that you are telling
that's
us?
what I'm telling you. That inside of it, the things that we experience in it is what we know. But what we don't experience, we don't believe it.
That's what
That's
I'm
what
What we
saying. As
see is what we
Christians
know.
too, the
You
things
understand?
you
Like
experience as a
Let me land
Christian
this
is what
point.
you believe in. And
Rosie,
what you
but
I
no,
am a
we don't believe
Christian
anything.
and I'm
We
proud to
I'll
only
be a
say
Christian.
experience
something.
things.
That's your
But you
Rosa
guys
belief.
will
Mike.
believe
Thomas.
that God came down and wrote the Bible. Are you kidding me?
it's
Come on
getting
now.
very fun.
Rosa Mike, let Temi land this point. So we'll
Yeah.
come to Mike or Rosie. Temi, go
Yes.
ahead. Land your
Yes.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
summarize. Yes, so someone mentioned there are still a few good preachers there for those who are still, in the
Mm.
faith with
Okay, we
Christianity.
can
But
apply and let's
the
see
the
how
few
it goes.
the few that are there, they're not popular. Most Christians are attracted to the same glamour, the same televangelists with the nicest suits, biggest cars. The Christians are the ones following the frauds. So if we really want to talk about, who the genuine leaders are, they're in the small churches that don't grow. They're there for their community. So besides having faith or not, those who are genuine are actually following the word. Those who don't spend and show off their look, and people are attracted to that. That's how I see my faith: is people who claim to be ministers, preachers, but they're celebrities to everyone else. Doesn't look like what the disciples were doing. They're getting persecuted. The leaders in the Bible were being put on the cross to die, just like their like Christ. So if we want to follow or look for examples of televangelists and ministers, they're not on TV. They're not. So that's my end. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Temi. Yeah, Mike, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what always frustrates me about Christians?
Yeah.
Whenever their members get caught, they'll now say, okay, that one is not the
It's
true,
fake.
it's not true, it's fake.
That one is fake. Oh,
The
yeah,
one
me.
they haven't cast, they'll say that's the true one. And
We
the
have
moment
not even
they cast
seen
that true one
anybody.
now, they'll say, no, it's no longer true, it's the fake.
It's a fake. The devil has used him.
That's just my problem with them,
I agree totally,
And when they
Mike.
are caught, is when they are no longer is fake. But when it comes to other people, oh, it's all of them, oh, it's everything. Everybody else is condemned.
I
But
agree
their own,
totally.
I want to separate the one that they won't. Oh, it's not true.
Yeah.
And this idea that God came down, wrote is the word of God. God came down, took pen and paper and wrote a book for you. Really, and that's when Roman told you, and you all believe it. I mean, come on now. Let's start using our head, man.
It did not say God came down. Mike,
It's
don't
just
misunderstand.
really.
Mike, you are
Blessed
misunderstanding the
are those
Bible.
that did not see Christ, though. Blessed are
The
those who did not
Bible.
see Christ,
That's not what
like
it
Philip.
said.
Yeah.
So God is the author of the Bible, really.
Yeah. So
So
I
it's
don't believe
when
in
you
the
call it word
Bible
of God,
anyway,
that's
but I don't believe in the Bible, and I don't think it's the word of God. It's the word of men. Actually, their experience, what they
Yeah,
experienced. Yeah.
you are right. You are
Yeah.
entitled to your opinion now. That
Yeah.
doesn't change the word. It doesn't
Yeah.
change it. It
I
is
agree.
what it
it's
is.
not opinion, it's the fact. We all know God didn't come down to write the Bible. It's some group of men that
It
wrote
did
it
not
and gave
say
it to
God came down physically. They were inspired. Just like all these your Ifa definitions. Did Ifa come down to write it? Were people not inspired to do what they wrote?
nobody wrote anything.
So all this Ifa
What's
calculation
you
that
gotta
you are
realize
doing.
in Nigeria, we take religion so seriously. That's what all the pastors deceiving us. They take
Okay,
this so
somebody is
seriously.
who is that? Who is talking? Who is that?
Can I
I
can
think
I can I
somebody's.
come in? Can I come in?
Yeah,
Take
yeah, man of prestige. I heard
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me start with where some people stop. They say that the all these pastors and everything, they have mental issue. I don't believe that. I believe whatever they're orchestrating right now is part of deceive. And this is not just only in
take.
Africa or Nigeria to pursue, Even in USA here, they do it, but it's a little bit different. I mean, because there's a pastor in Atlanta, I've forgotten the name of that guy. Maybe people here can tell. I mean, it's a big church. I think one of the biggest church in Atlanta. This guy was a gay. Of course, he lived through it and everything. He's sleeping with young boys in the church. So nobody in the church know that he was a gay until he was finally, linked and he was jailed. Well, he just died too. So having said that, I think the problem with the Nigerian pastors, because of the mental issue, because of the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria, the poverty rate and something like that, people go to church maybe 4 5 times a day. They don't have a job. I think it's a place where they find, where they find life to be better for them. That's why they go there. It's not like they are going to. It's not like that's the best place to go. A lot of them don't have job, so they just went there to seek some refuge, and do something and use their money. So in a
Vote
nutshell, what I'm
yesterday.
trying to say,
I be
it's not they
on
don't have a
Friday.
mental issue.
The,
They are deceiving.
the
Go ahead.
result come.
Huh? They are.
Sorry, I think there's a problem with Simba's system. Even when it's muted, his background still comes through. About carry on prestige.
One man, that is what I was doing, try to bring him in, but it's muted, but we are still hearing him.
Yes, I
So
think there's
yeah.
yeah.
So what I was saying, whatever they're doing, they know what they are doing. They don't have any mental issue. It's part of a way of deceiving people and taking up, the poor people money or rich people. Even the rich people are gullible. Like I go to church, but I didn't go to church today. When I go to church, my pastor preach. I mean, he's not God. He commit fornication, he commit adultery, he commit everything. He's a sinner like me. I don't really believe in what he said, but I have to take what he said. If I find it suitable for me, then I use it. I mean, I don't read Bible, but when I go to church, I'll be very, precise. I mean, when they say open this chapter, I use my phone, open the chapter, but I don't go home and read the Bible. My wife does that, but I don't read, but I believe in God. So it depends on what you believe. Like Mike was saying, you don't believe in God. I mean, I respect you. That's your own thing, but I believe the Bible was written for us. Am I into it religious? No, I wouldn't say that because I don't read the Bible, honestly. So,
Thank you, man of
Who
prestige.
told you
yeah.
to put the Bible for
Yeah.
you?
Thank
I
you.
mean, that's what I
Let's
believe.
go. Let's go to Ekene. Ekene, can you unmute? Let me hear your contribution.
Sorry, Dopsy. Before
Yeah.
you go to Ekene, can I take
Yeah.
a window to do a bit of that? Actually, go to
Please do.
Ekene.
No, please. You can go ahead, one man. Oh, okay.
Sorry,
One
sorry,
man,
I
go
have
ahead. Yeah.
background noise where I am,
Oh,
so
okay.
let me take.
Okay. Okay. Ekene, can you unmute? Yeah.
Yeah. Good day, everyone. Well, for me, I came for the earlier topic, but you people just moved on, so I followed you guys. I don't know, a lot of condemnation in Nigerian pastors, and I don't know what to say about them again. But coming for this guy issue, what I don't know, but I don't really involve in criticizing them because you see, a lot of things are going on in Nigeria, and the poverty rate and the what people demands today is miracle. So, and that is why you see many Nigerians believe every word that comes out from their pastors. Even though I'm a Christian, but I have the right to believe what I want to believe and do what I want to do. So if the word is okay for me, I go by it. If it's not okay for me, I leave it behind. Being a Christian doesn't necessarily mean that everything your pastor says is okay or is right for you. Pastor is also a human being and can also make his own mistake. So I don't take them as superhuman being, because many people, what happens in our society is that once you become a pastor, your followers take you as a superhuman being. So a lot of things are going on. That's why it seems like we are too religious. And being that religious, it's not that we are doing the things of God that we are supposed to do. It's just that we are doing the things of our pastors, our leaders in the church. We obey them. You see, most of the followers obey the pastor more than even the God they say they believe. Because when I see somebody say wants to pray, he say, I pray in the name of the God of my pastor. So even those things, I find it irritating. You cannot be a Christian and pray in the name of the God of your pastor. It then means that you don't believe in the God you come to serve. So probably come to worship your pastor or believe everything that your pastor says to you. So, and that is where the problem starts. So when you pray in the name of the God of your pastor, it's an error to me, to you as a Christian. You pray to your God, believe in your God, not in your pastor. These pastors can make a lot of mistakes, even behind the things they do you don't know. And I also believe that they can also be flamed up, but a lot of them makes a lot of mistake. So this guy now going there to rape a woman, I don't know what happened. I don't know why he should do that. Because even as a pastor,
A
if you
lot of
decide to,
pastors, they are APE women a lot. I don't know what you're talking about here. A lot of them do that. So what are you saying, Ekene? That you don't believe that he did that, or why should
no, I
he
did not say
do
I
that?
don't believe he did that, but I say what really made him to do that,
They
because
do
he can
that.
still,
That's the
yeah,
norm.
he can still have any
Pastor.
woman he wants to have in a very good,
And that's why we
understandable
talked
man
about mental
between.
issues. That's why we
So
talked
why
about
should
mental
he
issues.
go and rape a woman where when woman are even in father other people that call themselves fathers and all that can
What we are
even
saying is
have
that
a woman.
it takes a mental problem to become a pastor. That's what we are saying.
That's just the cocoa of the matter. Bang, bang, bam. Why
It
share
takes a
program?
mental, well, it doesn't, I don't believe it takes a mental problem to become a pastor. But for someone for someone to rape a woman is what I found to be a mental issue.
Ekele, do you know when
Raping
I
a
hear
woman in the
Please,
society that is,
when I
Dupsy,
hear pastor, I just believe you're a were
Eken,
immediately. When I
Dupsy,
hear that you're a pastor,
Dupsy,
I believe you're a were immediately. That's
eh?
my, that is my
Dupsy,
reaction.
Dupsy,
I've
When they
give
listened
start
me
to your
one
talking, you're
voice.
like,
sec.
we don't sorry.
We're no sorrow. That's why I want the more.
Dupsy, give me
Continue,
one sec.
Thomas.
Ekene, please
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
mention that R thing, please. It triggers YouTube, please.
Just say
Yes.
RAPE,
Just
Ekene.
say R. Yes,
RAPE.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. It
Okay.
triggers YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's a mental problem to RAP a woman, but it's not a mental issue to be a pastor. That's what I don't believe. I want to separate the both. So
When
if
you
you
when
if
you
you
are a pathological liar, my brother, you've
yeah.
got mental issues. When you lie
Ah,
consistently,
that's
then
what
it's
I said.
become
They're not
yeah.
superhuman being. They're not superhuman being. It is we, the followers, that made them super. So, but they're not
Okay.
superhuman being. You
Yeah,
understand
I
that?
think the
They just
pastor
come there
role
to.
attracts crazy people. That's why that's what we're even saying.
What did you say,
Power
Tammy? Can you say that again?
the
I
pastor
didn't hear.
position attracts crazy people. It would attract people who are hungry for
Who are
to
narcissistic in
practice
nature.
narcissism.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
I
what
agree.
we have to acknowledge.
Ekene as the obedient to make Peter Obi a god. So that is why it's the same thing with the
No, no,
Thomas,
no,
pastor.
leave the
no, no.
obedience
Thomas, don't go
now.
that.
Leave the
Don't go that.
obedience.
Most
Don't go there.
obedience were following
It's
their
not about
pastor.
obedience. What concerns
Leave
me with
obedience.
what concerns me with him being an obedient, that is not the issue. But I still stand on what I said. So for him to RAP a woman is just disgusting, because you see, what is there to have a woman you want to have? What is there that you have to go to that route? What is there to have any woman you want to have? Even if you want to sin, then you can still sin in a decent manner. without involving yourself in all this mess, public disgrace. That's my point. So he have the capacity. He's a fine man of God for me. If he has his money, he can attract any woman he wants. So what's he going to rape a woman? So
But
that's
are
why
you
I
in?
find the problem.
Ekene, can I say this? That is why Duski is telling you is a mental illness. You just said now that he can have any woman that he wants. What like he can have it, but this mental illness. It is mental illness for somebody to just wake. As you rightly said now, he can even order for a virgin. The money is there. The guy is beautiful, is handsome. So why do you have to go to do that thing that is even disgusting? So that's why they are telling you that this is a mental illness. Yeah, go on, my brother.
Yeah, I know that. No, they said it's a mental issue to become a pastor. That's what I disagree. But what I said
It
is,
is
it's mental.
actually.
It's mental for him to rape a woman. Because if it's not mental, I don't know why he should do that and cause himself a public disgrace.
Let me explain something to you about control. When you love to control, that is when you can actually withdraw or agree to something that when somebody say stop or no, it's all about control. You want to do a particular thing now, and you can never hear a no. That is,
Okay.
you want to
The thing,
absolutely be in control of people's lives. That is why a pastor will tell you fast for 50 days. Who the
the thing they hot,
HELL is the person that says you should
the thing they
fast
hot and
for
for body
50
that
days.
period.
It's all about control. So a person that has the ability to control another human being's life has that thing in him to RAP a woman too. It's one and the same. It's all about
And
control.
that's what I found mental. That's what I found mental
Yes,
because
and that's what we are saying. For you to
if
become somebody that wants to control people's life, I want to take you to heaven. A particular Geo said he has a mansion in heaven that is going to take all his members to that mansion in heaven. Brother, that is mental issue now. That is madness. Do you understand?
well,
So it's all about control.
I don't disagree that we don't have a lot of false prophets in the society today. I don't disagree to that. The idea. But what I don't agree is that Christians are not fools for believing in God. Because the way Mike put it is as if people going to church are not normal human beings, believing in the Bible and believing in God. I don't believe in that. They are still human beings and they believe what they believe, and many of them is
Mostly
working for them. So
people that
that's
go to church are not normal. I would say maybe 80% of the people that goes to church are not normal, in my opinion.
well, maybe the problem, the only thing I don't like is Christian. They are too much engaged in the activities of the church than being engaged in working out to make progress for their own personal life. Just when you put a fasting on Monday, you put on Tuesday, you put on Wednesday. Those things I find it disgusting as a Christian. I don't have time for those things. You
Ekene, what
understand?
are you
Doesn't
going
mean
to
that
church to look for? What are you going there to look for?
what I'm going to church. I want to hear some good news, some good word that shapes my life, makes me better, makes me not to be envy to my fellow human being, makes me not to be to
So
a
now the
violent human
church could
being.
make you learn that. Is that what you're saying?
So why can't you go to
Because
Those
I
ones
can
Bible?
are
see your
those ones
picture. You
those
are an adult. So it's the
no
church
those
that will
ones are
make you to become
those
a
words are in the
perfect
word of
human being.
God. Those words are in the Bible.
Okay.
If you
You
don't
see,
read
that's what we
them,
say the problem is, the mental
The
problem
word
is.
of
no,
God,
that's not the
Charlie.
problem. Those words are in the Bible. If you don't read them, you not live by it. If you see, you live by what you read and what you listen to, what you attach to. You understand? So those words you cannot deny they are not in the Bible. They are in the Bible. Those good living. Forget about what is happening in our society, in the churches today. If you follow the scripture very well, you have a. You see, there is one thing that I know very well in the Bible that I know I learned from the Bible. That's godliness with contentment. It's great gain. So when you understand all these things, you know you don't have to struggle, to kill, to make money, to do all this, to do all the evil things to make money. You still have to work hard Believe in your struggle. Those things are in the Bible. You understand? So being godly and being content is a great gain. So when I learn those things, it helps me to live a better life.
Thank
So
you, Ekene.
that's the reason to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your submission. Is there any other person, Mike? Do you still have something to say to us regarding this topic?
No,
Before we
no,
start rounding off.
nothing to say
Yeah.
to these people.
Yeah. How about Temi? Temi, do you still have something to tell us?
I feel everyone even covered what I was going to say. One thing I'll say is, after I watched that TB Joshua documentary, Free Pot, I was shocked by how many people were still in denial. That man traumatized all these cult members, and there were people still defending it with proof. So I'm not, even though I have my faith, I'm a Christian, I'm not against the criticism. It's needed. We need to wake up because there are too many people falling for this nonsense. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much, Temi. A lot of people are actually defending TB on the documentary. The what's the name again of this British broadcasting station
BBC
did?
News.
BBC. Yeah.
Covered
So
everything.
they're still defending him. They believe he didn't do it. But this thing has been out maybe since about 15 years ago. Lots of people have been talking about their experiences from TB Joshua camp. I don't know what's new
Yes.
in that documentary for people to now come out and start talking about it as if it's a new thing. That's the deceit about you Christians, Temi. And I know you're a Christian yourself, but that's the deceit. Okay,
but saying it when the man is dead, saying it when the man is dead
no,
is
they've been talking about it again for the past 15 years. They've been
well,
talking about the atrocities.
I don't agree in that. If they really have something against that man, they would have done something since, not when he's dead. Because
I said it's been on. You see me the way Christians behave? I said it's been on for ages. You're not
then they would have done something now. They would have done something then. If the man is dead, then bury the issue. That's my point. If that man is dead, bury the issue. Why raising it up now?
Mister, the witnesses came out and they were being targeted by his street boys. He was paying people to block them from coming out. They were hiding, they were running away. Someone almost assassinated. What do you mean? It's been happening for years.
But where I agree with Ekene is that he's not here alive to defend himself. So when the guy died, just buried
It's been happening. They've been talking about it.
I don't agree with that because they should persecute him because that place should be shut down because they will still continue to perpetrate the atrocities.
I think they should focus on the pastors that are alive.
It's not even accessible. The place is not accessible as it used to be before. But my point is this.
I think they should focus on the atrocities of the pastors that are alive, not the one that is dead.
If I have any issue with anybody, I on that issue when that person is alive, not when.
So does it mean that they should continue to scam people in that place because the man is dead? They shouldn't take action. If we have a good government, they should shut down that place.
No, they should go after the people that are scamming right now, not the one that is dead that's no longer scamming.
They
should go after the ones that are scamming. That's what we are saying.
Yeah, I agree
The
to
people
that
that
too, but they should still talk about TB Joshua too and shut down the place.
Yeah, no, they can talk. No. What I'm saying is that the what you are telling us, the man is not allowed to defend himself. There's no point of you telling me. You understand?
That's
but the ones that are, I'm more concerned about the ones that are alive.
Target them. That's why.
The ones that are alive, that are doing it, still doing it, are the ones. Sorry. The ones that are alive, that are still doing it, are the ones we should be making documentary about, talking about, because those ones are the ones you can do something about. But the one that's already buried and gone, what can we do about him now? He's gone.
The church is still open though. That's
but whoever is running the church now is still doing scam. Those are the ones we got to talk about.
They should close it.
Dupsy,
sorry.
Let me take a window of quiet where I am just to flash up. Hold on, Temi. Let me take a window of quiet where I am just to flash up something. We've got a very important guest joining us on Wednesday. Is the incoming PDP chairman, Segun Showomi. So he will be joining us on Wednesday, 10 p.m. UK time. So I'm going to send the link to that session. Yes, I'm going to send the link to that session in the comment section So everybody go bookmark that. The incoming PDP chairman, Shegun Shomi, joining us Wednesday, 10 p.m. UK time. So that's the link. Is already up on the platform. So don't click on that link. Go bookmark it. Back to you, Dipsy.
Hello. So,
Yes.
tell me, you can
Yes, I
go
was
ahead.
just trying to clarify because I think people have a problem. They don't realize that the BBC documentary was going on for about 2 years. They were interviewing many people while he was alive. And then in the third part of the documentary was when they discovered he took his life. The man took his life. Why? They assume that he discovered this investigation and that's when he panicked and then his whole ruse was over and then he probably took his life because of that. So let's
Thank you,
not
Temi,
Is
for
there
that.
evidence
wait
for
till
that?
he died.
Temi,
They were
yeah.
doing it while he was alive. But yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, do you know what I believe about these guys, these religious leaders? That when they want to start losing control, most of them tend to commit, SUI. Don't let me say it
Yes.
here. So
Yeah.
they tend to. There's a just watch out what I'm saying now. There's a particular Geo. He has predicted his death. He said he's going to die on a Sunday after taking Inyo and Egusi. Do you understand? So he has predicted, just watch out for this thing, Christians. He has predicted this thing already because the man has started to lose control over some people. Do you understand? A lot of people criticize him online anytime he says anything. So for him to gain that control back, he's going to commit. Do you understand? Because he has predicted that he's going to die on a Sunday after taking his favorite meal. Just watch out for that.
So he
Tell me,
can
go
control
ahead.
them.
Yeah.
It's interesting because then he can control them in his afterlife. So,
Exactly, for the next 20 years
wow.
again. No to mama gba wọn lọ. A tún
Wow.
gbá wọn lọ for the next 20 years. Alágbárí lọ̀gá Mugun Temi. Alágbárí òun lọ̀gá Mugun. I don't know if you understand that Yoruba. I don't know
I
how to
think
say
you
it in
explained it
English.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alágbárí lọ̀gá Mugun. So the man is actually going to take his life, and people will still be on inside that cage for the next 30, 40 years. That's how it works. So, Mike, you wanted to say something, Mike, before we round up, and I will still ask Princess too.
I forgot what I wanted to say. Sir.
Don't let my talk or you'll be talking
Okay.
against we
Okay,
Christian
okay.
now.
Someone else go ahead.
How about Chioma?
I'm
Chioma, are
joking.
you
I'm
still there?
joking. No.
Chioma, are you still there?
Let Choma defend the pastors.
Yes, devil's
here.
advocate is Sonu. Devil's advocate is Sonu. Continue. Go ahead, Chioma. Go ahead. Without your sweet voice, I don't even understand. Without your sweet voice, the devil's advocate.
I'm still gonna play the devil's advocate because these are powerful men, and in the case of like female are victims, they have a leverage. So it's usually their word against his, but in the case of the TB Joshua guy, I don't think it's fair to, judge him when he's no longer living. I think everyone deserves a fair trial. So yeah.
Thank you, Chioma. Chioma,
I'm
have you
speechless.
finished? Yeah.
Lucy, can I say something?
No, wait. My dad is here. He's a special guest. Let my dad say something. Daddy is on Christians. So these are my friends that we talk on Sundays. So go ahead, Daddy. Say something.
Hello.
Hi.
They can hear you.
When we were young, or even though I don't call myself old, I'm still young. I mean, years ago, our upbringing didn't allow us to make any choice as to whether to go to church, whatever. Even we had the ambition that we might even become pastors in those days. But unfortunately, things got so unusual that everybody believes that what the church is for collecting money. What did not help is the unemployment situation.
Yes.
When people were in the civil service and they were simply thrown out, the good way to start something is to start a church.
Exactly.
Sometimes, on those states of Nigeria where I came from, when the marketing boards were dissolved, even the stores used by people to get cocoa and other products have been turned into churches. What is certain is that things will change because people are getting to not to understand that going to church is not for business, but to serve God. I suppose the younger generation are taking it up very seriously in Nigeria. That things will come down.
Yeah. Ẹ sọ pé bye bye sí wọn.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Ẹ kálẹ́ sà o. Ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ o. Kétírí.
Awesome. My dad is on
Awesome.
wall.
Kétírí.
My dad
Yes.
is on wall,
Yeah.
not Ondo. Thank you
Not
everybody for
Ondo.
listening to my
That's your.
dad. Yeah. So who wants to talk again?
No, Dupsy, ẹ jẹ́ ká kí
Yeah.
dáàdì. Àgbà ò ní tán lórílẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ò ní tán lẹ́nu yín o. Ẹ dàgbà ẹ dògbò lórúkọ Jésù. Ẹ ṣé sà.
Thank you, Thomas. So Temi was trying to put something through after Chairman submitted my own opinion. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm even trying to quickly remember. I was just speechless because I was like, there's so much evidence. Why? Okay, he's dead, but you know what happened with that, and you have a dozen people coming out. They have video evidence of what happened, but it's okay. It's okay since there's so many frauds out there in the religion. We're gonna accept it because people will follow them, so that's fine. I can't.
That's the same way
You can't control. So I mean, I'm just saying that if we can see clear deception, why are we against it? You're saying if we took it to trial, this man was paying police officers, politicians to cover for him. How many people died in that building that collapsed a few years ago? He got away with it again. So we're talking about trial in Nigeria, a fair trial with a man with that much influence.
They did the same thing to Michael Jackson.
That's not the same
Michael
thing.
had to spend so much money in settlements. Nobody wants to be dragged like that in public. Come on.
But it's good. It's good that he's exposed. This will be a lesson to the other ones to know that whether they
let me say something. Let me say something. Let me say something. The other one, even using the dead ones, you make lessons to the other ones. They should go after the other ones right now.
Let me say this. This is just the beginning. They will go after.
No, they are ignoring the other ones. They are focused on the one that's already gone.
That was already died.
They should be making documentaries about GO and all of them right now. They are the ones that are here right now, deceiving people right now.
Even when you guys are condemning him, a lot of people also believe in him, and there are people that benefited from him. I know somebody that also benefited from him. That even if you talk evil about him till now to next year, the guy will not believe. The guy benefited from it honestly.
Michael Jackson. You know,
so when you talk about
people down, you know, you have to be careful. These are human beings as well.
Yeah, people also believe in him. People also benefited from him. I have somebody that benefited from him. That up till today, the guy still have his picture in his profile piece everywhere, both in Facebook and in WhatsApp.
Ekene, that guy you're talking about, I don't want to call him a fool. So no, you still believe
he cannot be a fool because the guy is doing very well. He's not a fool.
The guy is doing very well.
He's not a fool. No, he believed in something and it worked for him, and he benefited from it. You know that is why I don't normally put some argument there, because the things that I might be right to you might be wrong to another person. So the guy benefited from it, and he's not a fool.
Let me tell you something. It's
not that the guy is lacking money. The guy is not lacking money. When you talk about money.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Dupsy, if you don't mind, please. TB Joshua hide himself under the pretense of these philanthropies, and people don't know this. He's sharing bag of rice. He's paying people's medical something. He's doing all this. He's doing all that. This man
No, no,
is a
no. It's
devil.
not. It's
Can,
not in
can I
a fly.
finish, please? Can I finish, please? Thank you.
Okay.
He's hiding under this pretense, doing these philanthropies. He's doing this. He's doing that. This man is a devil incarnate that has been sent to the world to bastardize people's mind with all these fake miracles he's doing all about before God that owns his life take his life. I know some people are being fooled by this, but I think more Dupsy, more are still coming.
I agree
This
with you,
man is a
Thomas.
devil
I agree.
incarnate. Is a devil incarnate.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
my submission. Yeah.
Okay, you see, I don't agree with you that most people are fools. People that benefited from it, those guys, most of them are not fools. And when I say I know the guy very well, and I know he benefited from it, not that he gave him bag of rice, not that he dashed him money or anything. So when the guy was poisoned, when the guy wanted to start to build his house, the guy got poisoned in my village, just at the back of my yard, at the back of
But
my house.
my question is, what's the difference between TB Joshua and the other pastors, Thomas, including the pastor you are going to his church today? What's the difference between them?
Yes,
I don't know.
there's difference. There's quite different between them.
What's the difference?
There's difference. Mike, we can't be saying that tonight.
They are
That's a
both
long
pastors
story.
now,
No,
Abby.
no, I don't believe.
What they
The
are
only
doing
There's
thing
is
difference.
the same thing. They are both pastors. They are both collecting your money, and that's it. I mean, they are preaching the same Bible to you, and that's it. They are the same to me.
No. It's different. It's different. Mike, I don't need to be saying that it's different because this one doesn't pass. My pastor doesn't perform fake miracles, bringing people to church. But Mike, TB Joshua go to the extent of paying people to come outside that they are ill. They don't have any
are you there?
sickness. This
Did you see anyone? Can you
Thomas,
confirm to it?
Thomas, just
Ekene,
hold on,
you
Ekene.
don't
Thomas,
know
how about if
anything.
I break your bubble today that 99.9% of your pastors are like TB Joshua?
They all claim miracles.
I
They're
don't
the
Your
disagree
pastor
with
same.
you.
also claim miracles too.
They're the same. They're the same,
I don't
actually.
disagree with you. They may. I
Okay.
don't disagree with
So
you.
your pastor doesn't talk
Yeah.
about miracle in your church. They all do it, man. All of them. Come on now. That's what I'm telling you. There's no difference. Maybe he just took it to another level. That's all. But
No,
they are
No.
all
The only
there's
thing
fine.
I
They
know
are all
is
the
difference.
that
same.
Mike,
the only thing I know is that
there's difference.
if there is no miracle, many people will not be going to church, and that's where Christians got it wrong. But when somebody seems to have received a miracle from a man, and he believed in that man so much, I don't think that person is anywhere that somebody can find solution to. They both in Babalawo, in anywhere, and that person find the solution there. That's what that person believes in. So
Ekene,
when
the
I say
problem,
and
Ekene, hold on. The problem you are having is, sorry, you are not having problem. The problem some people are having is that thing you said. TB Joshua pray for him. If he didn't go to TB Joshua, is he going to be happen?
I
Forget
don't know,
about TB Joshua prayer.
I don't know, but
TB
what I
Joshua
know is
prayer
that
is a devil incarnate. Devil
let me say this.
incarnate.
Let me say this, Thomas. I don't know, but the only thing I know is that the guy spent almost 6 months living in TB Joshua. The guy spent 6 months living there in his
Using
church,
him as
and at the end of the day,
as a servant.
let me finish, Thomas. Let me finish. And at the end of the day, he got what he wanted. The guy got healed up till today. Because if you see that guy that time, everywhere was swelling up.
What did he got? What did he got? Can you tell
He
us
got
what
the
did he
healing
got
he
from TB
wanted.
Joshua?
He got the healing that he wanted. And today that
Oh,
guy has
come
finished
on.
it.
It was
That
just
guy
a
has finished.
Come on.
coincidence. It was
It's
just
a
a
No, I don't know.
coincidence.
coincidence.
I don't know whether
If
it's
he had not
coincidence or
gone
what. The guy has finished his building today. And the guy is very rich.
there
He even
after
believes that
starting
going
to
there
see
made
very
him
well,
so
it
rich.
was just a
Let me tell you
coincidence.
guys the truth. We are the one that were
That
giving
man
Team
is
Joshua
is
power.
hypnotized.
We
He's
are, we
under
are the one giving him
hypnosis. He's
the Judas
hypnotized.
use it to help you guys.
The guy got healing. The guy believes that he got healing there and he got well to there. So what are you going to tell him to make him believe that TB Joshua is a fake? What are you going to tell him? That's what I want to ask.
Now we the
feeling
give
I
and
got?
the juju and the up on us. So
I don't know whether the juju the man used on him, but the guy got what he wanted.
Let me tell you something. This guy you said is building his house. Is the guy working?
The guy has a business now. He's living in Congo. He came all the way.
Please. Hold on, please. Did the money fall from heaven?
I just told you something. The guy is a business guy.
He worked for his money, my brother. He worked for his money. There
Whether
is
he
no
works for
miracle
his money or not,
my brother. There
I
is.
told you
Let me
the problem
land
will come.
now. You this Christian, you don't let people talk. My brother, there is no miracle anywhere.
You these Christians.
Thomas, when your own
No, I
pastor,
am not.
your own pastor pray and you get job, you go to the church and go and give testimony.
I am surprised that Thomas is no longer a Christian, no.
Dupsy, let me tell you, I'm a Christian, but I have brain.
Thank you, my brother.
You are even a worker in the church.
Let me finish now.
Thank you.
Some Christians, they don't have brain. Their brain is black. I'm a Christian. I have brain. There is no miracle anywhere. You work hard, you are rich. If you don't work hard, you poor. You will die as a poor person.
Mr. Thomas,
The
sorry
guy
to
you are talking about work for his money.
Thank you for saying that.
My brain is not black. I'm a Christian. I use my brain. If my pastor says something that is not right, I throw it to the bin. I choose the one that I
Hold on,
think it
Thomas, I'm
makes
confused
sense.
though, man. Let me ask you a question now. So do you believe that you can go and pray for job and you find that job?
That is a lie. That is a lie.
But I thought you
You'll be
Christian
married.
believe that you go to go to church. What do you okay, hold on.
Can I say something?
I'm trying to understand your Christianity. You like your own Christianity is a little different from the ones me I
His
know.
is different. We're not the
Because
same Christians,
I thought you guys go to church to pray for something to happen for you, like pray for job, pray for success, pray for things. So now I'm asking you your own Christianity. So you guys don't believe that you can pray for something to happen for
You
you?
don't have to go to church for your prayers to be answered.
You don't have
can
to go to
pray
church,
at
my
home
brother.
on your
The question
own.
is not whether
You can
in
call
church or
on
nowhere.
God anywhere. He will answer you. You don't have
No,
to
no,
go
but,
to
Why do you have to
hold
pray
on.
if you
What
don't
Thomas
believe
is
that God
saying is
can do
that
that thing
there is
for you?
no.
Why do you have to pray if you believe that God cannot do that thing for you? You just
But
live your
what
life
Thomas
like
is
that.
saying that it doesn't exist. That
It doesn't
That's
mean you
what
have to go to
prayer
church
doesn't
before your
what
prayers
Thomas is
are
saying.
answered. You don't have to go to church before your prayers are answered.
Even if you don't have to go to church,
God,
Mr.
He
Rosie,
will
even if you
answer
don't have to
you.
go to church,
God is
even if you don't,
everywhere.
even
It's
if you
not
don't have
only
to go
in
to church,
churches that you find God. God is
So, Sister Rosie, are
everywhere.
you saying church should not exist?
I'm not saying church should not exist, but don't get the conception that your prayers have to be answered
You
in the
have to
church
go to
only.
church
So, what is
outside
the
the
essence of
church.
church? What's the
No.
purpose of
I
having
am
a
at
church?
home. I am here
your
at
prayer
home.
might
I
not be.
don't go to church. My church, I don't go to church, but I call my kids together. My husband, we have seven. We pray to God. We read the Bible, and God answers
And
our
God
prayers.
answer your prayer. Yeah.
You don't have
So
to.
why do you go to church then?
Mr. Rosie, you didn't know God from nowhere. Either you know Him from church and you stop going.
Mr. Rosie, is that something you want to tell us, Rosie? Mr. Rosie.
I don't know. How are you calling me Mr. Rosie?
Okay, Miss
Listen,
Rosie,
I'm
sorry.
not a trans, so
Okay, no, don't worry, Miss Rosie.
yeah, you don't have to go to church for God to answer
you
your
got
prayer.
converted to be a Christian somewhere, either in the church. Maybe at the
But
wrong
what
run,
I'm
you
telling you
decided
is
maybe
that
you
you
don't need
don't
to go
have
to
to
church
go to
again.
church for God to answer you. Wherever
No,
you are,
people might
go
decide
call
to go to
upon
church.
Him.
See, let me tell you, people can decide to either get their prayer from the church or in the house. So even the Bible you read tells you many people that go to the church to receive their
The Bible
miracle.
said, "Do not forsake the gathering of the saints." But it does not mean
Yeah,
that if you are in
even
your home, if you call
Hannah,
upon me, I won't answer. God said, "Call upon me, and I will
even
answer you."
Hannah in the
So what are
Bible,
you
you
talking
know.
about? You don't have to go to church for your prayers to be answered.
Hannah in the Bible, you know, God is miracle in the church, in the altar. So what are you
It
telling me?
doesn't mean you
So if
cannot
people
get your
believe to
miracle
go there to
apart
pray,
from the church. Okay, then what type of Christian are you? So if you don't go to church, God doesn't answer your prayer.
it doesn't mean you can pray. What I say is that you can pray anywhere, both in the house and in the church. You don't say You don't make it
But
as
it
if going
doesn't
to
have
church
to
to
be
pray
in
is
the
the.
church alone that God will answer your prayer.
No, it doesn't have to be in the church
Okay,
alone.
good.
But you are
That's what
making
I
as
want
if
to
it's
know.
only. It might not be
No,
in
I
the
am
church.
saying God, anywhere you are, you call upon Him, He
Ah,
would
it's
answer you.
understandable, but you
Okay,
saying that
good, good.
you don't have to go to church. But
I'm not
people can
saying
still
you
go to
don't have
church.
to
People
go
might
to church.
decide to
I'm
say,
telling
so,
you of my own lifestyle. I'm
yeah,
telling you of my
it might
own
be your
lifestyle.
Somebody
Sister
can decide.
Rosie, so are you
Ekene is
saying
the
you don't
son
really
of
need pastors then? You don't
my
need pastors
brother,
then?
Rosie. Mike, Ekene is the son of Kumuyi. You know how they
I know
hypnotize them
now
over
the
there.
holy that deceives so
Holy,
many
holy, that's
millions.
nonsense.
The
Holy,
only
It's
holy,
not
they are
about.
praying over
It's not
there.
about
he
holy.
deceived
a
a
It's
lot
not
lot
of
of
about.
people.
he said TV
He
is
deceived a lot of people.
apoti
Apoti issue.
issue, but now he's
Apoti
using
issue.
social media to get people. It's
Not
just
only
a
No,
that,
deceit.
it's not that.
Princess,
It's
not
not.
He
only
used
that,
holiness to scam people.
not only that, he
If
his
I
wife
tell you,
died after
if
1
I
month.
tell you,
Arababale. Hey, can you let me talk? Can you let me
Baba
talk?
wife
Continue.
died.
Like, over the
Baba did
phone.
not mourn the wife. Quick, Baba ti
Hey,
gbẹ
go to
oh.
Arababa Tinle.
Bàbá ti bá yẹn sùn gan kíyàwó tó
Eh?
kú. Side chick
Baby,
bàbá nìyẹn.
thank you,
Side
Rosie.
chick
Thank you for
bàbá
saying
wọ́n
that.
ti ń lọ
Side chick.
wọ́n ti ń léra wọn ti pẹ́.
I am not even defending Baba. Even when
Okay,
somebody tell me
good.
pray in the God of Kumi, I tell that person no, I cannot do that.
Okay,
I
let's
don't
hear
have any
from
God of
Mr.
Kumi.
Triumph because I want to close the show. Let's hear from Mr. Triumph before we close today. Yeah. Mr. Triumph, go ahead and let's hear your submission. Yeah.
You, madam. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Thank you, Madam Dupsy. One thing is that I've been listening to you guys for the past 2 hours, and it's very interesting, and I get to hear everybody when they speak. So, for me, I talk with experience, what I've seen, and what I've done. You understand? You know that in life, they have 3 dimension and 4 dimension, and it's only those people that understand what I'm saying will understand. Because of thanks to my mom, I'm a Christian today. You understand? Thanks to my mom, because my from my father's side, that traditionalist, like Mr. Mike. You understand? My mom came because of she lost my dad. She got married to him, and then later my dad changed. Everybody come start changing in the family. You understand? One thing is that what I noticed in life that is the 4th dimension that controls the 3rd dimension. So I still believe that there is God, and one thing is just that I believe that in everything in life, just just give thanks to your God. You understand? And to go to church also matters. I don't go always. I must confess. I don't go, but I do mine through the internet. You understand? Because of it depends because of my schedules and things I do always. I do things and I'm very far from home at times. So that's just it. You understand? So that's my own way to bring it into you guys. And again, that church is not the building. Eh? Mr. Ikene and Madam Rosie. Church not to be the church is the people, is the people. We people at the church. So that's just it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Triumph. Thank you, everybody. Is there any other person that wants to say something before we close the show today?
I
How
want to
about
say
Devil's
something.
Advocate? Devil's Advocate, Nko? I want Devil's Advocate is on. Are you not going to say any other thing? Pretty Chioma.
Hi, I'm here.
Devil's Advocate. Are you not saying anything? Are you not saying anything?
Contrary to what Thomas was saying, that he believes you have to work, you have to go out there and look for the job, but I believe when you pray and you work with God, he will give you a good job, even a better job than what you expected. So it's all about your faith. I don't know what you're worshiping if you don't have faith in your God. You understand? So that's just my take on that.
Okay, thank you, Chioma. Kulata, come in to the studio. Kulata said he wants to say something. Come into the studio, Kulata. Ekene, go ahead. Ekene.
Okay, what I want to say is the way church is not a building, just as Triumph said. I believe that also. But you see, even as a Christian, as a traditionalist, anywhere you pray, you can be answered. Your prayer can be answered. I believe in that. But people that go to church, maybe to say, I want to have a quiet time with God. This is where I can find peace to pray. It's not out of question. They do it for purpose. People still go to mountain. People still go inside the bush to say, this is where I have to have a quiet time to reason and to pray and to at least ease off my worries there. It's not out of question. It doesn't matter whether you're a Christian or you're a pagan. It's a lifestyle you develop for yourself, and it works. So if people find it, if people see it peaceful and the quiet doing that, they want to maybe go to the church to pray, maybe go to the
Be
altar
careful
to
how you
pray.
hold the knife.
So I don't see that. I don't see that as the wrong thing to do. If you can pray from Monday to Saturday, it's your choice. If you cannot pray from Monday to Saturday, if you can fast from Monday to Saturday, it's your choice. You understand? So I don't see them as fools. It's the life they
Okay.
want to live. So
Okay,
let's
Kenny.
not make them fools. It's what they believe in.
Okay.
Traditionalists
Okay.
also do it. It's not that I
Yeah.
don't know only church people. I also know traditional people. They engage in such act if they really want something from their God. So they also do it. It's not only Christians.
Use their God.
In your the only book that you are reading, they say on the seventh day God rested. Me una leave God alone now. Leave the guy alone.
We're
Now
not
go
gonna
and
leave
use
them,
your
bro.
brain. Leave
We're not gonna leave
him.
them. He said we
Waiting.
should always give. He said we should always give thanks to him. He
Who
also
said?
said pray
Somebody wrote
without
that.
ceasing.
He didn't
Pray
say that.
without ceasing.
I
Pray
don't
without
know.
ceasing.
Okay, Kenny,
What
thanks for
what
coming for the show, Jerry. Let me end. Because this one,
yeah.
we will never end it. We will never
Pray
end
without
it
ceasing.
today. Go and look for
Eat
something
what?
else to do. Stop praying.
Eat what?
Okay? Look for
I'm doing
something else
something
to
now.
do.
Okay.
I'm doing
Hey,
something. I don't
stop
only pray. Yes.
praying. Let's start using our brain so that we can move our country forward. Let's
Okay.
stop praying. Okay? So we've prayed enough. Let's do something else right now. It's time to move on and do something else. So thank you everyone for coming for my program this Sunday morning. I appreciate each and every one of you. From Tammy, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Chioma,
you for having me.
Mike, my brother,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Tammy. Kenneth, thank you so much for coming. Mr. Triumph, Princess Rosie, my darling, my love. Thank you so much for always showing up for Doopsy Baby.
Hey,
Thank you
Dupsy, I
so
have one
much.
idea real quick.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Go
Dupsy, what do
ahead.
you think? Dupsy, you know what religion you can invent for the people that will save the people?
Oh, okay.
The new God will be the brain. Every
My
Sunday, we worship the
Yeah,
brain. We pray to the brain.
yeah. I
We
agree.
appease the brain.
I agree.
What do you think will happen if we start to do that? Maybe
I think our country will be more beautiful than Dubai. Even this world.
when we want problem, we consult the brain. We pray to the
Oh,
brain.
oh,
We do
Mike,
sacrifice for the brain. We
Mike, that's so
donate money for
beautiful.
the brain. We
That's so
worship
beautiful.
the brain. That's the new God is the brain. Brain is
Mike,
our new God. How about that?
this world will be a saner place for each
Nigeria become
and every one of us to live in. Even if
ah.
everybody can adopt it in the whole world, this world will be a saner place for
Maybe
each and
that's
every
it.
one of
Do you
us.
see? Maybe you start a new religion.
I'm
I'll
telling
be your
you, the brain.
first follower. I'll be your first follower, and
I
then
am
we'll recruit more
telling you,
people.
Mike.
Before you know it, those people that belong to higher religion will overtake all the Christians. All of them will be looking at them like,
I agree with you 100%, my brother. You know, we are same like we think alike. Our minds just work the same. The only thing we disagree on is the religion. You are for the Ifa, me, I'm a free thinker. I'm just like that.
Do you know
That's the
that? Do you
only
know that? That's what if I actually talk about Ori. You
really
know what
about the
Ori
brain.
is?
Huh.
Ori. You know what
I
Ori
like
means?
that.
It's your head. That's what if I tells you now. Ori go see you. Shall be na Ori any. You know understand? Your Ori, that's what we really deal with. Every other
Very important.
deity, we just say relationship. But what we really worship is our head, is our Ori.
I agree with you
That's what
totally.
Ifa really is. Ori, when I wake up in the morning, I talk to my Ori in my head. And my
Mm.
Ori encompasses my brain, my personal deity, my Ori.
Yeah.
That's what Ifa tells you. So that's
Yeah.
what our religion really is, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I just agree with you, Mike, on that totally. Because I think when a woman is pregnant and our pastor told her the baby is not lying well inside her womb. She should get on the bed, and he's going to use this thing to align the baby properly in her womb. That is a sin to God from that woman herself for not using her brain. Do you understand? So the most important thing for us here on earth is for us to use that God-given talent called the brain. Let's start using our brain, and I believe our society, our community, and this world at large is going to be saner, and we're going to move humanity forward. Thank you, everyone, for coming. One man, can you bring up the people that gave us super chat so that we can say thank you to them before we leave? Fourth, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your gifts. Thank you so much. God bless you. The next person we have here is who do we have again? Liz Z or something. Okay, thank you, Liz. Thanks for coming and showing up always for Doopsy Baby. Thank you so much for coming for our program today. Thank you again, Fourth. Thank you, always coming to support. Thank you, Fourth. DJ, we saw you. Okay, you're the one that came up. Thank you, DJ. Thank you so much for your super sticker. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. And that's Doopsy Baby thanking everyone for attending our Sunday sermon. Here we share a lot. Please always come and hear the word of wisdom on Sunday mornings. Thank you so much. Thank you, my boss. You know I love you always, one man. God bless you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a great day.